From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm so nation. No matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm so nation. No matter the location. Just got the 83 feel, it's time to run it back. We struck gold, we in gold in our running back. Josh Jacobs, he a specialist. He personifies commitment to excellence. He our next Bobo, he our next Allen. I'm watching receivers drown on Mullen Allen. Yeah, y'all know the drill was Littleton in the middle. This shit just got real. Look, we Super Bowl bound. I'm just an honest man. Chuck you back to return us to the promised land. Rest in peace, Al. You the GOAT, bro. NFL had Jerry West, you the logo. And I'm I pledge allegiance to Oko, LA Coliseum and Allegiant. And I'm I pledge allegiance to Oko, LA Coliseum and Allegiant. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm so nation. No matter the location.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You are watching the Raiders Report, and we are live here on day 2 for round 3 coverage. Now, some of you are probably like, Mitch, where the heck were you a little bit earlier on? I was live on our main chat sports channel, breaking down all the craziness, and I don't know if anybody anticipated the Trevon Moehrig trade-up, but I am super stoked about that. If you love the pick of Moehrig at 43, I want you to go ahead and like this video right now. And I know there's something else that a lot of y'all are going to love. The pick is this show is presented by my good friends Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/Raiders where you can save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. So if you guys have watched the show for a long time, you know that, man, I absolutely love Moehrig. I think he's the top safety in this year's class. The fact that the Raiders were able to get him at pick 43, I had a little bit of a mental breakdown yesterday. Not that I don't like Alex Leatherwood, but I thought it was a little bit of a reach. If you tell me right now that our draft would have been Moehrig and Alex Leatherwood, our top 2 picks, I'm totally okay with it. If we would have taken Moehrig at 17 and then Leatherwood at 43 or 48, man, I absolutely am loving this draft so far. He was my top safety. He's going to be that great fit in terms of a cover 3 style type of dude. I was ecstatic when the trade went down, and as soon as it happened, if you were watching the live coverage we had at Chat Sports, I was like, yo, I think this is Moehrig. And then guess what? It was in fact Trevon Moehrig. So as it stands right now in the draft, the Atlanta Falcons, they are on the clock after the Houston Texans just took the quarterback from Stanford. So what we're going to do on today's show is basically talk about what's happening in the NFL draft. The Raiders have picks at 79 and at pick 80, and we're going to be breaking down everything that has to go along with that. Also, if you super chat, yesterday's show was a record breaker in terms of the most super chats for Raiders Report. I'm a little bit hungover today, but you know what? That's okay, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. So be honest with me here. I want you to grade the Alex Leatherwood pick A, B, C, D, or F. I gave it a C- yesterday, and you know what? I don't really think it's that fair because now I'm going to look at it as a bigger picture. I'm going to give it a B- style of grade. He's a very good run blocker, which is where he excels, and it's what the Raiders wanted to be able to do. He's going to be your starting right tackle. I also believe that the Raiders knew something in terms of you're going to have certain players slide down the board. The fact that a guy like Moehrig was able to slide down the board, the fact that Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah fell down the board to 52, there were medical things that the public knowledge did not know, as simple as that. So now, Leatherwood, I like the move because I do believe when you have picks like that, it leads to domino effects. One of the domino effects was, guess what? The Raiders getting somebody like Trevon Moehrig. So I'm going to give it out a B- grade. I'm seeing a lot of people going B, C, A+. That I can't get on board with. A pick that I am going to give an A grade, A+ to though, is Trevon Moehrig. The Raiders trading up for him. I know I'm team trade down, but if somebody that you really like starts to fall down the board, you have to take them. And the reason why the Raiders traded up to number 43 is because if they wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have got him, because you would have saw a team like the Dallas Cowboys end up taking him. So what I want every single person that's watching right now is to just spam A in the chat, because if you're a Raiders fan, and the fact that we got Moehrig as the third safety, the reason why he fell down in the board is because he had a little bit of a back injury, which scared some people. But at the end of the day, man, I was really, really excited. So we'll take you through some of the picks that ended up happening here most recently. Davis Mills, 67 overall to the Houston Texans. Jalen Mayfield just went off the board, offensive tackle from Michigan to the Atlanta Falcons. The Cincinnati Bengals, they go out and get a player like a Joseph Asai, I believe, is the pick that they ended up getting. Joseph Asai was a pretty solid player from top to bottom, a good edge rusher. Brady Christensen, he ends up going to the Carolina Panthers at number 70 overall, which I think that's actually a pretty good fit there as well. So if you guys want to get featured here on the Raiders Report, we do have a super chat menu. So my man Jeremy, he's working hard behind the scenes here. We're trying to get everything caught up to date. If you want to get the party started like we did yesterday, then let's get this party started. So I already got a few super chats, which we will bring up. So shout out to Ryan Jones, Rubik, and Zach. Cheers to you guys. I'll take some sips of beer here. So what you guys see on screen is this. $10. We're going to cheers it up. When I drink, you drink. $20 is a roulette spin, so we're going to spin the roulette wheel. $30 is like, let's say you run a business or you have an Instagram, you have a Twitter, you want to put it, on the show with all these people watching, Raider fans, put it on there. We'll give you some love. $50 is a fireball shot, or I actually have some Grey Goose here, and a little bit nervous about Grey Goose because that kicks my ass. And then if anybody wants to come on the Raiders Report on my Tuesday show, we had 5 people, I believe, send in Super Chats, or 4 people send in Super Chats, bigger than $250. So 4 people are going to come on Tuesday's Raiders Report if they want to. So if you guys want to come on the show, $250 Super, you join the show. All right, what up, Nigel? Since the Raiders got Alex and Trevon, who should the Raiders get with 79 and 80? And it's a good that we got Alex and Moehrig instead of the other way. Yes, I actually totally agree with you. I love the start of this draft now. At 79 and 80, I'm curious to see what the Raiders do end up doing. I mean, in terms of some of the best players left on Downey's big board, I mean, Jabril Cox is a player that I would absolutely love. So if Cox is there at 79, that's probably the route I personally go. Let's go to this super chat coming in here from Ryan Jones. What's up, my man? Yes, Moehrig was a good pick, but now we have nothing after 80 until 162 because we had to trade up. He should have been the 17th reachers. Like, you could look at it that standpoint, but I actually don't think a guy like Alex Leatherwood would have been there at 48 after you saw a lot of the tackles go the way that they did. So you could say that they're the reachers, but if you're getting both of those players, I actually don't think it's that big of a reach because, sure, you lose that 4th-round pick, but you were able to keep both thirds. That's the important thing. All right, so who do you want the Raiders to draft? I want you to comment it below. Please go down in the comment section and just start spamming who you want the Raiders to draft here. As it stands right now, I would want Jabril Cox. I know it sounds kind of weird, but if we could go out and get Malik Hooker and Jabril Cox and just put them next to each other and get an awesome picture, I'd be totally down for that. But we got Kenneth Phelps is going to go here with Jabril Cox. Raider Nation says, yo, what's up, my man? Cox and Molden. Yep, I'm actually on board for that. So with the 72nd pick, the Detroit Lions are going to go Aleem McNeil, defensive tackle from the I can't even think right now. From North Carolina State, excuse me. He's a pretty solid player. I talked about him a bunch actually on the show in terms of being an under-the-radar type of dude. Another name that I actually wouldn't mind if you're going to go linebacker, Chaz Surratt. He's a pretty solid linebacker from North Carolina. Let's continue to roll through some of these super chats here. Rubik, what up, my man? Dude's a beast, and I'm happy about the pick, but how serious is the back injury? From what I've heard, it's really not that serious. It's just the NFL just putting a little bit of flag on a guy. He literally had medical tape on his back. He'll be okay. Let's go to Zach here. I can't find anything about the MRI damage on his back. Have you heard anything? Same thing. He was wearing medical tape. From what I've heard, people really aren't that worried about it. At least the Raiders aren't. Some people are always going to put a flag on a guy if he has a back strain, but I mean, from what I heard, it's really like a pull back muscle. He's going to be okay. Let's go to Jeremy here. What up, my man? Very happy with our 2nd-round pick. Who are you looking for at 79 and 80? Chaz Surratt, I think Elijah Molden would be another very good player, and Jabril Cox. Those are probably my top 3 guys on my radar right now. Luke Anderson, he's ready to get the party started. Let's spin the roulette wheel. Beat pick in the last 4 years. So you mean best pick at the last 4 years at safety. I'm with you, man. So we got a brand new roulette wheel, and this thing is really spinning. So the game is this, drink or do, or I actually just found out it's do or drink, which... So I'm not very good at. So basically this is what it is. Blindfold your eyes and feel someone's face. If you can't guess who it is, then try first. Well, I got to unfortunately take a drink because nobody's near me to feel somebody's face, and I can't quite reach Jeremy. So far this game here on the Raiders Report has not quite worked out. Oh, man. All right, who's next up here? We got Rosby Bailey. What up, my man? My first car was given to me. It was a Ford Bronco. I wrecked it. My cousin said... I told him, Raider Nation, BS, Raider Nation for life, Raiders. Everyone go down in the comments and give me a Raiders. All right, y'all, so we got 235 likes on this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video. It would actually help us out a ton here to get the party started. I know not everyone can super chat, but when you do go ahead and like the video, it helps us out here. It tells YouTube, like, oh, wait a minute, I think more people would want to go ahead and watch this. And also, more people, we can get the party started. So I want to get to 1,000 likes, okay? We got over 1,000 people watching. 281 likes. Jeremy, do they get anything for 500 likes or 1,000? I don't even remember at this point. If you could pull up the lower third, the tracker, to see how many likes it takes to get something, I would appreciate that. But if you guys could, go ahead, like the video. We got 344. Appreciate all the supers that have already come in. T. Severe says, Tyler Shelvin and Chaz Surratt, please. I mean, two interesting players. I don't really know if I'm going to go with somebody like Tyler Shelvin. I think you get him actually a little bit later on. He's a pretty big defensive tackle, but we'll see what happens. So, all right, y'all. So I want you to go ahead, like the video if you definitely could. There was actually a pick that just happened, I believe. It looks like the Eagles are selecting Milton Williams, defensive tackle, which is a pretty interesting pick for them. I think the Eagles have done some pretty good things from top to bottom, I would say, here on the show. So what do we got here? Like the video if you bleed silver and black. Jeremy, you can find it in the draft show where we built all the graphics out. So find the lower thirds, and then please go ahead and move them over. All right, I want to give a shout-out here to Drew Himalayan. Did I get that right? Sean Wade. I'm actually not a big fan of Sean Wade. He's a player that can play cornerback. He can play safety. He can go back and forth. He had some first-round buzz last season. However, that's just not a player that I personally want for this football team. He just scares me. He reminds me way too much of Damon Arnett, and that's just me being real with y'all. So I got some more shout-outs here. Ben Bad, what up, my dude? And then Zornell Malone says we still need a defensive tackle or defensive end. Give a good name. Ronnie Perkins? I mean, I think Ronnie Perkins is still on the board. So what we've been doing at Chat Sports is we've been bouncing all over the place here. We've been going back and forth, back and forth. I think once we get the lower thirds in, I'm going to have, I want to see Tom's big board in terms of the best players remaining. That would help me out a lot in terms of like the top 12 guys still left on the board there. But Zach Carpenter, appreciate you. Just bar hopping from stream to stream. Tighten up. Oh, man, you are in the wrong place, my man. Very, very wrong place. But I appreciate the super chat nonetheless. So here's Tom Downey's the best players available. Elijah Molden, who in my show that I talked about this morning, I said one of the names that I would absolutely love is Molden. I actually also predicted a guy like Ronnie Perkins going to the Raiders at 48, and the fact that we could potentially get him at 79, I would be really excited about that. I don't see the Raiders going Michael Carter, Melifonwu. I know a lot of y'all know him. That's actually Obi's younger brother. Or actually, I think it's his older brother, Ifeatu. We're also almost at 500 likes, so once we get to 500 likes, we're going to play the drink or do game, which is the game that we just played. So hopefully, I think at this point, I'm just going to be drinking every single time. Wyatt Davis is a solid offensive guard from Ohio State. Jabril Cox is probably one of the top guys that I personally want. Quinn Meinerz is still on the board. I want to see where a guy like Divine Deablo ends up going. Bearing Brownie, he's a linebacker that I really, really like. And then if you want to talk about an outside cornerback that really fits what somebody like Gus Bradley likes to try to do, somebody like Paulson Adebo is definitely somebody to keep in mind here. So what you guys are watching now is the Las Vegas Raiders Report. We go live for breaking news. We do daily shows all the time. I woke up bright and early this morning to be able to give you guys the information that you're looking for. So if you're a diehard Raider fan, if you bleed silver and black, if you please subscribe to the channel here. I want to get to 100,000 subs by the start of the season. It kind of pisses me off a little bit that Tom Downey, not that Tom doesn't do a great job, he does, but the Cowboys channel has more subs than the Raiders channel. And I get that there might be more Cowboys fans out there, but let's be real. I think Raider Nation is like the movie 300. I'll take 300 Raider fans any day of the week over literally any other fan base. You can give me thousands of other fans. I'll take 300 Raider fans. So if you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe to the show, because I promise you, you will not find another channel that keeps you as up to date as we will here at the Raiders Report. The link is below, youtube.com/Raiders Report. All right, so the Washington football team and the Giants both went cornerback back-to-back. The Giants took Aaron Robinson, cornerback from UCF, and then it looks like the Washington football team are actually going to go with somebody like Benjamin St. Just. So pretty interesting picks there from both of those guys. So yeah, pretty interesting. So Milton Williams and then Benjamin St. Just. So We'll see what happens there. But, I mean, hey, Molden's still on the board. I'm curious if there's something wrong with him in terms of the medical check. But I know this was a guy that a lot of people anticipated going in round 2. I also really like the pick here of Benjamin St. Just. Like, he was a player that I could see going in round 3. I talked to a few scouts around the league that said, hey, this guy's got legit talent. And I'm in agreement. I'm a lot higher on him than what Tom Downey was. All right, let's go to Ben Bad. What up, Ben? He's just got a Raiders in the chat. We got 1,300 people watching right now. Yesterday's show got a little bit wild. And when I say a little bit wild, I mean we were drinking for like 3 to 4 straight hours. I didn't get home until like 2:30 in the morning, I think, after we got done working here. And then I woke up at like 7 to take my dog Chuck out. And then we got into work at probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock, made a video, and then we got ready for our NFL draft coverage. So we're diehards here. There's no doubt about that, but that's what you got to do. I mean, remember, there was definitely a time when the Raiders Report, it's kind of crazy, when we had only, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subs, but we didn't take any off days for like an entire year. We kicked ass. We made videos more than anyone, and now we're here. So I'm excited that we are probably not even probably, we are the most watched Raiders channel, but it's because of y'all always tuning in, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you. All right, we got some more supers coming in. Let's go ahead and give them some love. Jeremy, we still need a defensive tackle or defensive end. Give me a good name. I already read that one off, so that one's Ronnie Perkins. The next one, Zach Carpenter. Appreciate you, but you're a Titans fan, so can't give you too much love there. Let's go to Vlad Ram. He was the next super chat that ended up coming in. Thoughts on Ifeatu Melifonwu as a cornerback choice? Long and athletic. But I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to take him because of his brother Obi. He's a lot different in terms of player of Obi. Obi was super athletic, didn't put in the work. Everything that I've heard about, Ifeatu, he's a lot different type of prospect. And then if you're looking for a long and lanky cornerback, he does fit that mold. However, I also know the Raiders are going to be looking for a slot nickel type of dude, and Elijah Molden is still out there on the board. All right, let's go to Cruiser Tim. 79 Perkins and 80 for Molden. If that's how this draft ended up going, and you tell me right now we have Alex Leatherwood, Trevon Moehrig, Perkins, and Molden as your first 4 picks, I'm really, really excited about that. Let's go to Gary Hamilton here. What up, Gary? I know, get a pick. How about Molden and Nixon from Iowa? Davion Nixon is another very good name. He's a little bit undersized, and when you talk about what Gus Bradley a lot of the times tries to do on that interior, he wants bigger dudes. So the fact that I think that's actually one of the reasons why Mo Hurst got moved on from is because he's a little bit smaller in terms of size. So is Solomon Thomas, but he can also go inside or out. But I actually don't know if they're going to go with somebody like Gary on Nixon. Molden, though, I think would definitely be a pretty good pick here. The Dallas Cowboys at pick number 75. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name, so I'm just going to say Osa, defensive tackle from UCLA. I know a lot of y'all were like, hey, Mitch, check out this player. Could be a good fit for the Raiders team. And he's a pretty interesting prospect at 6'1", 282 pounds. Tom had him is ranked as his 109th overall player, so this is a little bit of a reach for him. But still, pretty good pick nonetheless. We got a super chat coming in here from Owl. Glad to see the Raiders turn to the round. How does Grant get taken before Moehrig, and how did Joke fall so far? It's injuries. It's something happens at their pro day or one of the medical checks don't exactly go to plan. That's why Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah fell so far. And then apparently a few scouts saw Moehrig with some back tape on during one of his workouts. Said, hey, can we check it out? Some of the tests came back not very good. And in terms of like overall what happened, like it was interesting, but the reason why he fell is because some people found a little bit of a back injury. Yeah, let's go for it. So who wants $20 here? So yesterday, we had a record at Chat Sports and the Raiders Report for making the most money we ever did in Super Chats. So what I want to do is be able to give back to y'all a little bit. So one of the shirts that I'm wearing right now, it is shout out to one of today's sponsors, Black Sunday Shop. They have unbelievable shirts. I mean, I know I've given these guys some love before on the show. So what I want you to do is this, okay? I want you to go on Black Sunday Shop's most recent Instagram profile, or the most recent Instagram picture, and I want you to comment Mitch, okay? We're gonna do this for like 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, and we'll pick a winner a little bit later on. But if you go comment Mitch on their most recent picture on Instagram, we're going to give some random person $20. And the only way you can win is if you follow them. So they already have close to like 25,000 followers. They have an unbelievable team over there. But I want to give them some love here. So if you can, give them a follow on Instagram, and then I want you to comment Mitch. So if you do that, you're entered to win. We'll do this probably in like 10, 15 minutes now. Give out a winner, get random $20 we'll send you, but you also have to be following them. And I'll give some shout-outs here to some people that end up doing it. So if you want to go ahead and watch more Raiders videos here, We are at the Raiders Report live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. You're not going to find another Raiders channel that keeps you guys as up to date as me. I'm just being 100% honest with y'all. All right, so I'm going to go to Black Sunday Shop here as we're waiting for the Raiders to pick, because right now the New Orleans Saints, they are on the clock. And I would like to be able to say, I know where the Raiders are going to go. However, I don't really think anybody ever knows what the Raiders are going to do. So I see Cash482. He's commenting Mitch in there. We got Gushta. We got Enkeel, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm going to throw in the link in there. You can see it in the chat. Click that link, comment Mitch, and you're going to be entered to win $20. We got Gabsha, Mario Chuiz, 20047 Carlos, SU Cookies, The Mortgage Master, Xavier. Again, we got a lot of people. We got Stanley Classics type in Mitch. If you go and you spam Mitch, okay, in the chat, we are going to go ahead and then give you guys some love. So go ahead, comment it on Black Sunday Shop's Instagram post. You got to follow them, though, if you want to win $20. Let's go to Sergio Masis, Jabril Cox, and Davion Nixon. I'd be totally okay with it. I mean, both players that I like a lot. I don't know if the Raiders are going to end up doing something like that, but there has actually just been a trade. The Denver Broncos are going to trade out this time, and now the New Orleans Saints, they're going to jump up here and try to figure out which player that they're going to go with. But if you would like Cox and Nixon, giggity, I do think that would be a pretty good mixture here for this team. Let's go to Cruiser. What up, my man? We got picks are coming in faster here than in Chat Sports. Well, it's because there's a lot less graphics to be able to work with. So that's just me being real with you. Maybe guys should give some love to Jeremy. He's the one pushing the graphics up on screen. So we got a pick coming in now. It is Paulson Adebo from the Saints. So the Saints traded up to take the cornerback from Stanford. Another player that, again, we have talked about multiple times here on the Raiders Report. He's a good cornerback, long and lanky, so it's just another guy off the board. So what do we got here? We got 1,500 people watching. We got 600 likes. We got to get to 1,000 likes. I know we could do it, and I know not everyone can always super chat. So Jeremy said once we get to 1,000 likes, he's going to take a shot, and he's saying he's thirsty, and all I'm saying is this. If you challenge Raider Nation enough, they're going to come get you. So Jeremy doesn't think that y'all can get to 1,000 likes in the next 60 seconds, so we're going to make a deal. If we can get to 1,000 likes in the next 60 seconds, Jeremy's going to take a shot, and I'm going to take a shot. Let's get the party started right before the Raiders end up here taking their pick. So 1,000 likes. Producer Jeremy's going to come on, take a shot, and then I'm going to take a shot here of some Grey Goose, which...
My mouth is like the Sahara right now.
I don't know if I'm ready.
I need some liquid.
He said that his mouth is like the Sahara right now. He needs some liquid. So I could go in so many different directions with that type of joke, but we're not going to do that to him. So we got 1,500 people watching right now. Who do y'all think that the Raiders are going to take here at 79 and 80? The pick is coming. I'm getting nervous. Who else is nervous out there? I mean, you never know what the Raiders are going to do, right? I mean, there's no doubt about that. 824 likes. Come on, y'all. We can get there. I know we can. So go down in the comments. Let me know. Got a $20 super chat coming in. It says, Luke Addison says, somebody drink. I'm drinking. Oh, and it's Adkisson. Did I get that right? Adkisson? I don't know if I got it right. All right, so Luke, appreciate you, my man. Everyone take a drink, and I got to spin the roulette wheel here. We're at 855 likes. I know you guys can get there. If you do see your picture up on screen, could you send in a super? Please always remember that I am at MitchellWren365, and I am more than happy to share. If you guys take a picture, show people that you're watching and having a good time, because that's how you grow the show in a very easy way. Show people where they can go get content, and I guarantee you, if you're a Raiders fan and you come across the show, you're going to have a good time. Because if you can't have a good time with the nation, then I think that's more of a you problem than anything else. So, Luke, cheers to you, my man. All right, what do we got? I owe y'all 3 beer. It looks like beer lies, so I don't know if I just can't spell. It literally says 3 beer lies. I must have been drunk when I made this last night. It's all good. Cheers to y'all. Let me get a sip of beer here. All right. So what are we waiting on right now? It looks like the Los Angeles Chargers, they're on the clock with pick 77, and then the Vikings are at pick 78, and then it's the Raiders at pick number 79. So let's go to the best available players here. I'm curious on who you guys would want off the board. I mean, I think no matter what. Also, you can see the last 2 picks that were on the bottom screen there. Shout out to Jay Chugs. We got Elijah Molden, who's my number 1 player still, even left on my board, and then Ronnie Perkins. I mean, if we could get both of those players, I would be ecstatic. Another dude that I like a lot is Jabril Cox because of how well he can cover, especially, I mean, I'm saying this right now, he is the best coverage linebacker. Another really solid player was Browning, somebody from the Ohio State linebacker class, and I know the Raiders like these bigger name school players, and I know they like people from Ohio State. So we'll see what ends up happening. The Chargers, they're actually going to take a wide receiver, and it's a little bit of a surprising name. His name is Josh Palmer. So Josh Palmer, I guess, I don't even know who Josh Palmer is. I'll be honest. I've studied a lot of people. This one name's a little bit interesting to me. So Josh Palmer, wide receiver from Tennessee. I mean, Tom has a round 4 grade. Jeremy's like, this guy's a sleeper. He's a good player. So 6'1", 210 pounds. Played in the SEC, had some pretty solid numbers this past year. But Josh Palmer, so another option there for Justin Herbert. I mean, I do think the Chargers have actually had a pretty solid draft. If we're being real, most of the teams in the AFC West have had a pretty solid draft. So, well, hopefully the Raiders can start to compete just a little bit better here. Chiefs fans taking over the chat. Type Raiders. No, we don't want that. So spam Raiders. Get the Chiefs fans out of here. I want no part of it. I mean, think about it. If you're a Chiefs fan watching the Raiders report, I mean, that just goes to show how desperate you are. That's a you problem. So let me know down in the comments section. I want you to spam Raiders. Yeah, let's just spam Raiders. Let's get these guys out of here. And before the Raiders are getting ready to pick here, we're at 930 likes. So if you could, let me know down in the comments section, who do you want the Raiders to pick at number 2? And if we can get to 1,000 likes, Jeremy and I, we're going to take a shot. Because I'm ready. I'm ready for this Raiders pick here. I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm hoping it ends up being a good pick. Because now I'm liking the Moehrig. I'm liking Alex Leatherwood. They could go with a lot of different options. So let me know down in the comments section, who do you want the Raiders to pick in round 2? Let me know. All right, I'm going to refresh my computer here. And I'm going to start giving some shout-outs again to some of the people that commented Mitch and followed Black Sunday Now on Instagram. So I'm going to put the link in there. You guys click that link, comment Mitch, but you got to be following Black Sunday Shop. So you got to go ahead and follow Black Sunday Shop for the best information around some Raiders gear. But if you go ahead and comment Mitch, you have a chance to win $20. But if you're not following them, then guess what? Then you have no chance of winning. I'm just being real with you. 998 likes, and we're at 1,000. All right, Chugs, let's go. Do you have a shot glass, though? That's the issue. All right, so Jeremy's going to go get a shot glass. We actually lost a like. So I don't know if we're at 1,000 anymore. So now we're at over 1,000. All right, cool. So what's going to happen now is Jeremy and I, we're going to take a shot. I got my Grey Goose brand new bottle, and I can't tell you how much you guys kicked my ass yesterday. So this is going to be maybe 1 or 2 of these, and then I just can't do any more vodka shots. We'll go get some Fireball as well. The issue is the vodka is the second best thing that we have here. The Fireball's on our main chat sports channel, and that's what they wanted to drink. So it's all good. So hang on a second. Bottoms up, Chugs.
Some classy fellas over here.
Classy fellas. Cheers. This is the guy pushing the graphics in the background. Cheers to Raider Nation. Yep. It's not. I don't even understand how people drink this stuff. Oh my, not a sponsor, so I can say what I want. Vodka's terrible. So whoever's out there, we need to get the Fireball in here because if anybody buys me a vodka shot when we're out, I'm just not going to be a happy camper. I'm just going to be honest. Like I always say, first round on me, I can guarantee one thing. It's just never going to be vodka. That I can absolutely guarantee. So remember, go down in the comments. I'm going to put the link in there for Black Sunday Shop. If you guys go ahead, comment Mitch, and give them a follow on Instagram, we're going to be giving away $20 here on Venmo. All right, so the pick is in for the Minnesota Vikings. It's actually one of the players that I was hoping could fall to the Raiders here. It's Chaz Surratt, linebacker from North Carolina. With this being said, that means the Las Vegas Raiders are officially on the clock. So you could go in a bunch of different directions here. Let's go to the best players available, Jeremy, and show the nation who are some potential players that the Raiders could pick here. Elijah Molden is still on the board. You're looking at even somebody like, I'm trying to think of the name, like a Jabril Cox could be a pretty interesting player here. I am curious to see what the Raiders do ultimately do here because there are some pretty solid players left on the board still. Carlos47 says we need that man, Ronnie Perkins. I mean, Ronnie Perkins, is a good player. He's a little bit undersized, but he can do a lot of different things here. Cox is a player that I like a lot. I'm a believer, excuse me as I burp, I'm a believer that they are going to end up going and getting somebody on the defensive side of the football. At least that's the direction I personally would go with here, but you just never know what Gruden is really trying to think here. But we'll see what ends up happening here for the Las Vegas Raiders. But go ahead and let me know down in the comments section who you think the Raiders are going to pick here at number 79 and at pick number 80, because the Raiders here are officially on the clock. But you got back-to-back picks at 79 and 80, so obviously they're going to take their time. There's no reason to rush here whatsoever. But I am a little bit nervous. There's no doubt about that. So we're seeing some of the people come in. Not quite sure what the Raiders plan on doing, but as soon as we get the picks in, we're going to let you know. Brian Teal says, hey, we need a solid slot corner. Okay, could be a pretty interesting option there. Douglas Ridley, we will get to your super chat after the Raiders make their picks. You have my word, my man. We got OX13 said, just got off work. What grade did you give the second-round pick? A+. It's Trevon Moehrig at pick number 43. That's phenomenal value here. So I'm seeing some people saying it could be a Clemson player. I don't know about that. I don't think that's the route that the Raiders go, but we will see what happens here. So as soon as we get the information, we'll be able to break it down for y'all, but we will I'm curious. Who do you guys want the Raiders to pick? Go down in the comments. Let me know some of the top players available. Elijah Molden. I know some people might not want Ifeatu, but these are the top cornerbacks available. I don't know if they're going to go with somebody on the inside or if they go with more of a nickel style of player, but the Raiders have about 4 minutes and 30 seconds here to make a pick, and if they're smart, they use up all the time they possibly can, because if you have back-to-back picks, you need to be able to take advantage here of this time. So here are some of the top linebackers available. I like Baron Browning a lot. I think Jabril Cox would be the two options that you decide to go with here if you decide to not go with let's say a linebacker, if you will. Monty Rice is good. He's more of a, I'll say, in terms of a fourth-round type of player, but for the Raiders, you don't have that fourth-rounder anymore. But here are the top linebackers available left on the board. If you're going to go linebacker, you got to go with either Cox or somebody like a Baron Browning at this current juncture here for the Las Vegas Raiders. So the round one pick was Alex Leatherwood, Trevon Moehrig. If there's a way I could get back on screen, that would be much appreciated. Trevon Moehrig went there at number 43, so the Raiders ended up trading up for him. And the Raiders are going to take, so the pick is in. They're actually going to go with the edge rusher from Buffalo, Michael Koonce. So he's a little bit of an under-the-radar style of prospect, but it is a pretty good name here. I know the Raiders like this kid a lot. And I see some people saying, it's Dylan Moses. It's not. It's Malcolm Koonce. So it's Michael Koonce. He's an edge rusher from Buffalo. So that was the pick at number 79 for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm curious what you guys have to say about that one. He's a little bit more of an under-the-radar prospect, but he's a good player. Honestly, he's a pretty solid player. Let me pull up my draft notes on him. And I think you might not recognize the name. Some people are going to be like, oh, he's from Buffalo, so some people will probably get really excited right away. But he's a good player. Honestly, he's going to be able to do a lot of different things for you. So what's your instant reaction to the Raiders taking Koonce here at number 79 overall, edge rusher from Buffalo, Malcolm Koonce. So here he is, 6'2", 249 pounds. He was Tom's 18th overall. Mel Kiper Jr. absolutely loved this type of player. Now, Tom was a little bit lower on him, had a fourth-round grade, but this is a player that's got a lot of upside, a lot of great athletic ability. Not 100% sure if he's going to be able to live up to the hype, but, when you talk about somebody being 6'2", 249, that wingspan, the arms, the hands, he's got a lot of things that a lot of scouts, they're going to like a lot. And if you're trying to build edge rusher, I will say that he does need a little bit of a shape-shifting team. Is that the right word I'm looking for? Impressive vertical for his size. The bench, not so impressive. The three-cone drill, that I like a lot, though. You want to talk about a three-cone drill. That's what I look at a lot for edge rushers. Those are numbers actually pretty close to somebody like a Max Crosby. I'm not saying he's going to be a Max Crosby, but one of the players that I was really, really high on was Jalen Phillips. His three-cone drill was 7.01. I'm not simply saying here because he had a good cone drill, he's going to be an amazing player. No. What I am saying is he is a good athlete, and if you give him the right players around him and you can really build that defensive line and let him be that edge rusher, that Benson Mayowa style of role where he's playing only 30 snaps or 30% of the snaps a game, like that's what you're looking for. So what's your reaction here? I'm seeing some people say trade Nassib. I mean, yes, trade Nassib has definitely been something that we've talked about multiple times, and actually the other pick is also in here for the Las Vegas Raiders, so as soon as we get that one, we will also be able to break down that one for you as well. But I am curious to see how the Raiders end up doing with both of these picks here. But I'm nervous. Who are the Raiders going to pick here at number 80 now? Go down in the comments section and please go ahead and let me know. So not yet. We don't have the pick yet. So we got to wait till we get the pick, and then once we get the pick, then we will go ahead and then we'll be able to break everything down for you. So. All right, so who are the Raiders going to pick here? Go down in the comments section and let me know. We're waiting for the number 80 pick. I am getting a little bit nervous. Who else is just a little bit nervous here? I'm sweating. Literally sweat's coming down my you-know-what, which is not really what I want, obviously, because we just started the show. We're going to be drinking a little bit as well, so make sure you guys are staying tuned. And a lot of people want Elijah Molden, which that I can totally understand. So let me know who y'all think the Raiders are going to take here. What's your instant reaction to the first pick of Koonce? Like, he's a good player. I'm seeing some people say Trevor Scott, which I don't even know who Trevor Scott is. So I don't know if that's the right move there. I'm going to start trying to figure out who the Raiders ended up taking. But after going Alex Leatherwood, then you end up going a different direction with Trevon Moehrig, which absolutely love that pick there. And then, you get somebody like Koonce, who he's a good edge rusher, a good athlete from top to bottom. But we'll end up seeing what the Raiders decide to do here at pick number 80. I'm getting a little bit nervous here. So what do you think about the draft so far? I want you to grade it A, B, C, D, or F. We'll start giving out some shout-outs here in just a little bit. And then once we get pick number 80, we're going to be breaking down how both of these players really fit in what the Raiders are trying to do moving forward, because both players, I think, are going to be able to add a little bit of versatility, help out the defense. There's a pretty good chance for that. But we'll see here. I mean, when I look at good production from Tom, some of his notes on Koonce is highly productive at Buffalo, solid length despite being a little bit undersized, got some power in his hands, great at bending, really great athlete on film. So when you look at a great athlete, they're actually going to go with a cornerback here, Divine Deablo. So once we get all the graphics made, then we're going to be able to break it down for y'all here. So the Raiders end up going with a guy like Malcolm Koonce and Divine Deablo in round 3, and I know Tom really likes. I mean, Divine Deablo, that's one hell of a name. There's no doubt about that. Hang on a second. I'm trying to figure out everything going on here. So we got a lot of different things going on. I'm trying to save. Cool. Updated that. So the Raiders here, they went Malcolm Koonce, and they ended up going with somebody like Divine Deablo. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's show is presented by Manscaped. Head on over to manscaped.com/Raiders where you can save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. So with the Raiders picks here in round 3, 79 and 80, we're going to be breaking down what each of these players is going to offer to the Las Vegas Raiders. Malcolm Koonce, edge rusher from Buffalo, 6'2", 249-pounder. He's Tom Downey's 18th edge rusher, number 28 overall, 4th-round grade. When you talk about some of the things that he's going to really be able to bring to your football team, he is highly productive at Buffalo. He's got some solid length despite being a little bit undersized, got some power in his hands, great at bending, really good athlete. One thing that I know Mike Mayock loved about somebody like Max Crosby, a lot of bend. That's exactly what you're getting here in Koonce. Then the back pick here, round 3, number 80, Divine Deablo, who can play safety, but he's more of a cornerback in my personal opinion. He's going to be able to add a lot of length here for this football team. At 6'3", 226 pounds, he's going to be able to fit what Gus Bradley likes. Long, lanky dudes. So I'm excited to see what ends up happening here. 55 tackles, 4 interceptions, and then you got somebody with 4 pass breakups as well. This has been a player that Tom's talked about a bunch and really started to go up the board a lot on his big board. But when you look at some of these numbers here, I mean, think about how athletic he is, right? Then you got 4.44 speed, 2.69, and then the 10-yard, 1.62. Bench press is 17, 35-inch vertical, 10 feet, 2 inches, on the broad jump. The cone drill, 7.22. The shuttle, not all that impressive, but he's a good player, he's a good athlete, and it should not surprise too many people because this fits exactly the mold of what Bradley's trying to do, and it also fits the mold of what Mayock's trying to do, get a lot more athletes here on this football team. So we'll see what happens. I'm also being told it's Malcolm Koonce. Hopefully I can pronounce that right. And for everyone that's watching, you guys know that names, they're not my go-to even when I get the pronunciation. So here's what the Raiders selections have been through the first 4 picks in the 2021 NFL Draft. I know a lot of people might not recognize the names here, but the Divine Deablo, he's a good player in round 3. And then Malcolm Koonce, he's also a good player here that I think you're going to be able to see a lot of solid production out of. Trevon Moehrig, love that pick. I mean, it's by far the best pick here for the draft for the Raiders. Alex Leatherwood, it wasn't my favorite pick, but now when I see how the board is starting to fall, you're filling out a whole bunch of big-time needs here. Like the fact that you're able to get 3 solid defensive players who are going to be able to help you, I believe right away. I mean, I'm pretty excited. Like, I saw the Divine go, and Tom goes, all right, man, we're ready to rock and roll. So he is a safety. He tested absolutely phenomenally. He lined up as a free safety, strong safety, and in the nickel. So that's the type of player that they were looking for a long time, being able to find somebody that can be a little bit more versatile, that they can find to play that probably LaMarcus Joyner style role. And at somebody at that size, man, that's pretty incredible. I don't think he's going to be a free safety, which is okay because you already went out and got somebody like Moehrig. Not super fluid overall. Missed most of 2017 due to a fracture in his left foot. 11.3% missed tackle rate, which is a pretty good one in my opinion. And then he's also productive in special teams. I do like the pick of Divine Deablo a lot. So if y'all bleed silver and black, I want you to subscribe to the Raiders Report for more videos and make sure you turn on those notifications. That way you can stay up to date on all things going on here around the Las Vegas Raiders. We're breaking down news, rumors literally every single day. We're dropping a new video on the channel literally every single day. So if you guys want to stay up to date, and if you want to join me for all of my live shows, which again, live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, please go ahead and subscribe right now and turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. All right, let's go here to Malcolm and look at his 2020 stats from Buffalo. 16 solo tackles, 30 tackles, total tackles, the 5 sacks, 0 forced fumbles. I do want to be able to break a few things else down on him before we move on to the next graphic here. The issue is I am not the best speller, and I'm trying to communicate what I need. We're good. We got it figured out here. So in 2020, 30 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, right? In 2019, 11 tackles for loss, 9 sacks, 33 forced fumbles. I mean, you're talking about pretty solid production there. 3 straight years. He turns 23 just after the draft. But again, you're looking at an outside linebacker full-time to really come in and play that Benson Mayowa style role, a type of role that the Raiders were really hoping that Arden Key was going to be able to live up to. So you're probably, you move on from Key. He leaves behind, I believe it's like 434 snaps. He was playing in about 44%. That's this type of replacement here. The Raiders were also looking for that bigger outside linebacker that's type of a 3-4 style, if you will, which is what they were hoping to get out of Carl Nassib. Now, there's been a lot of trade rumors around Nassib. Could you potentially see them decide to move on now? Yes, that's definitely a possibility. But you got somebody like Koonce here, and I am curious to see how he does fit with this Raiders team. At pick number 80, if I had to pick which one I like more, and I'm actually going to ask you guys as well, which pick do you like more, type DD for Divine Deablo or type MK for Koonce there? In terms of Divine Deablo, 55 tackles, the 4 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, and then the completion percentage, which I like to see a lot. But when you also look at what he did in 2019, 84 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, 2 pass breakups, and interception. In 2018, 55 tackles. I mean, he's 22 right now. He's going to be 23 during the preseason. Divine's parents Gave him that name to honor his great-grandfather as well, to offset his devilish surname. He was a wide receiver, then he was converted to a safety, robber style of player. What does that mean? He can do a lot of different things here. Love him as a natural player, can stop the run as well. Tom is going to give it the comp of Jaquiski Tart, which I think is pretty interesting. He's got a third-round grade on him, and he's just going to be a very productive player with a lot of different style of versatility here. He played free safety. He played strong safety. He lined up in the nickel. Look for the Raiders to probably line this guy up in the nickel a little bit. So what do you guys think so far here? I want you to go down in the comments section, and I want you to rate the Raiders' third-round picks from a scale from 0 to 100. 0 being you didn't like them at all, 100 being you absolutely loved them. But when I tell you to do this, you have to keep in mind the players that the Raiders also took, okay? Who they also took at 17 and at 43. For that being said, you had a lot of different holes here. You filled out right tackle. You get your free safety in Moehrig. You get an edge rusher in Kosi. And then you also go out and get somebody who's a pretty solid defender in Divine Deablo who can offer a lot of versatility there. I probably would have went maybe with somebody like a Jabril Cox, who's a guy that I liked a lot, Elijah Molden, but there's something telling me that Molden is falling down the boards because there is a injury that we just simply do not know about, a lot like what you saw from somebody like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So go down in the comments, let me know a scale from 0 to 100. I want you to rate the Raiders' third-round picks. So here are the Raiders' selections right now, okay? Pretty solid from top to bottom. Leatherwood, Moehrig, Coase, and then Divine Deablo. What I do want to do, though, is give a little bit more love here to Manscaped, today's sponsor. So if you guys could, if you haven't already, make sure that your package is looking perfect. Make sure you're always giving our sponsors a lot of love because they definitely deserve it. If it wasn't for Manscaped, we wouldn't be able to do today's show. So please, tell Manscaped that you love them, and your balls will thank you as well. Promo code Raiders at manscaped.com/Raiders. That's the link down there below. And with our deal, usually it's $79.99. You just can cut this bad boy down, and $63.99 is how you end up getting the perfect package, which I'm telling you right now, it's absolutely worth it. I also use the Lawnmower 3.0 literally I can't say every day. I'll make you guys a deal. I have it on right now. I have the Lawnmower 3.0 right now. I said the other day on a show that I would shave my entire face and go mustache, okay? Mustache only for a $100 super chat. So I will shave my face and go mustache for a $100 super chat. That's my deal on the table right now. You got the high power ability here, which you're also not going to have a lot of vibration because once it starts shaking, you're not going to be able to control what you're doing. It's got that awesome little LED light at the end, which you guys can see right now. Watch, ready? See it? Now you're getting those hard-to-reach places there. It's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. Plus, one of my favorite things that a lot of blades don't have, changeable blades. If you use the same blade on your face that you use on your downstairs, I'm really going to question what the hell you're doing. So get the best grooming products on the market, 20% off and free shipping with promo code Raiders, as I almost turn it on. But yeah, seriously, you're not going to cut yourself. I can promise you. It's impossible to cut yourself with these things. Their products are so awesome. It's manscaped.com, promo code Raiders. All right, we're going to catch up here on some other picks that ended up happening. Hunter Long, tight end from Boston College in the third round, 81 overall. Then at pick number 82, Dyami Brown. He went from Washington. I believe we're still doing this cut as well, so we need to be able to figure out how to get out of here. When you think about all the other Raiders picks, so from top to bottom, the Raiders here, their next pick though is not going to be for a little bit while at least. So we'll see what happens there. In terms of what the Raiders' plans are doing here now, and what the Raiders Report's plans are going to be doing from here on out, we're going to go ahead and figure out. If you guys want me to stay alive, continue to send in super chats. You guys can continue to go ahead, and we'll start giving out some love here. All right, let's go to Rico Leno. What about drafting Molden? So, unfortunately, that's not the way the Raiders went. I had him ranked pretty high. He was a player that I did want the Raiders to go out and get, but unfortunately, it simply did not happen. So, next super chat's coming in from Tom Downey's half-wit cousin. What up, man? Tom cheats when he plays Monopoly. You know what? That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I could see Tom being a cheater on Monopoly. Let's go to Simon SC. What up, my dude? Simple here. The longer I can stay live is if we get some more likes on the videos here, if we continue to get the super chats going. After the Raiders picked the other day, we were live for another 2-3 hours. And if you guys want to drink with me, please go ahead and do so. And I am hurting a little bit, but, I can power through it for Raider Nation. Look forward to the next season. I'm pretty sure we're at least a playoff bound. What do you think, Mitch? being playoff bound is still going to be a little bit of a stretch for me. I need to be able to see how the offensive line meshes because we can have all these great players, but if the offensive line doesn't mesh as a unit, that does worry me a little bit. Do I have confidence in the team? Sure. But you still have to be able to outplay the teams in your division. Chargers had a great offseason. The Broncos had a very good offseason. And then you got the Chiefs as well. So we're right there as a fringe team. I do want to see some of these players mold together in the long offseason. We got Douglas Ridley. I'm going to spin the roulette wheel. What up, my man? He wanted the Raiders to go get Cox and then some shots. So shots are $50. So we had to up it up a little bit because you guys kicked my ass yesterday. So shots are $50 from here on out. But appreciate everyone who's always coming across and watching the show. We need a solid, what does this say? Solid slot corner. You know, you're not wrong there. So what we're going to do here is 2 truths and a lie. But we already did my 2 truths and a lie yesterday. So we're going to put Jeremy's on the screen. So producer Jeremy, he gave me 2 truths and a lie. And I want you guys to be able to go out and figure out which ones were the truths and which one is the lie. Also, a big shout out to Big Mike. Appreciate the super chat for coming in here. And we will get it up here in just a second. That's what she said. While we are going ahead and waiting, I'm going to go give some shout outs to the people that commented Mitch on Black Sunday Now's most recent post. We had Can't Walk, that's my guy, Eline, Gay Bush, Mario 2047, Carlos, SU Cookies. We got Xavier, we have the Mortgage Master. So what I'm doing right now is telling people, hey, if you go to Black Sunday Now and you go to their most recent post on Instagram, comment Mitch. We're going to give away $20 to one random fan. So once my boss tells me, hey, we're going to go ahead and pick a winner, I'll announce the winner, and then we're going to DM you, and we're going to send you $20 on Venmo. So the only way, though, you're going to be able to win is if you give Black Sunday Now a follow on Instagram. And from what I'm seeing, they've gained about 250 followers, which is pretty awesome. All right, here are Jeremy's 2 truths and a lie. You got to be able to figure out what it is. So he had a bar mitzvah, no speeding tickets in his entire life, or he has 2 cats. So if you think that you got to find the lie. Has he had a bar mitzvah? Type 1. No speeding tickets? Type 2. Has 2 cats? Type 3. Go down in the comments section right now. I want you to try to guess producer Jeremy, guess his lie. And actually, I forget what it is. So Jeremy was one of the first people that sent me 2 truths and a lie, and I actually forget what it is. So I'm pretty sure he's had a bar mitzvah, so I'm not going to type 1. I don't know if he has 2 cats. He's a really nice guy, so I could see him not having a speeding ticket. Like, he's a dude that just kind of takes his time, does his thing, doesn't really worry about, I think rushing around trying to get place to place. My guess is going to be 3. I don't think that you have 2 cats. So I'm going to type 3. This just also goes to show that I don't listen or don't remember very well. So let me know down there. We got a lot of 1s starting to flow in. What up, Black Man? We got Juan Hernandez. It's going to go ahead, and a lot of people typing 2 right now. Man, I don't know. We got some 3s. Abram says 1. Everett Lee's going to go with the 2. Robert says 3. A Wilder says 1. Oh, boy. All right, man. So 1, 2, or 3, which one is the lie? So Jeremy says that 3 is the lie, that he has 2 cats. So I got it right. He's too nice to speed, and I knew he had a bar mitzvah, so he does not have. Do you have any cats? All right, so he said cats are for weird people. If you have a cat, that's Jeremy speaking, not for me. But, hey, man, appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate everyone watching right now. We got 1,952 people watching. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. The link is below. If you are already subscribed, tell even more people to come and watch the show. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, let's go to this next pick right here. We got round 381, Tommy Treble, tight end from Notre Dame. What did I say? I said 81. I can't read. So 83, Tommy. He ends up going to the Carolina Panthers. Chauncey Golston, edge rusher from Iowa. I think that's pretty good value there for the Dallas Cowboys. Amari Rodgers. This is actually a little bit of a reach for me. He's a good receiver, but I would not have taken him in round 3. We got, what else we have? He's 5'9", 212 pounds. So round 3, 85 overall. And then what we're going to do now is continue to go through some more super chats here. So if you want to get featured on the Raiders Report, go ahead, send them in. All right, we got Wide Along 14. What do you think Dylan Moses album? Is it a reach? A lot of people might say no. I don't like Dylan Moses as a prospect anymore. He would have been a top 20, 25 player before the injury. Then he tore his ACL, and he lost a lot of burst. And I mean, it's the truth. If Dylan Moses would have played 15, 20 years ago, he'd be a great middle linebacker. He just doesn't have that get up and go anymore. We have him graded, I believe, as a 5th-round type of prospect. So in terms of going up and getting him now, yes, I do actually think that it's going to be a little bit too much of a reach. Let's go to Owl. What do you think we are going to do with Joseph, Abram, Moehrig, and Deablo? The starting free safety is going to be Trevon Moehrig. Abram's still going to be your starting strong safety. And then, no, I wouldn't go to it because it's not updated. So, you got Jonathan Abram. He's going to be your starting strong safety. And then you got Carl Joseph. He's going to be the backup to Abram. And Divine Deablo is going to be an interesting prospect in terms of, are they going to line him up more as a safety, or are they going to play him as a nickel because he played a little bit of free safety, a little bit of strong safety, and a little bit of nickel corner. I don't know if he's built to be a nickel, but we'll see what Gus Bradley has in store for him. Let's go to Mr. V. Goat. They had to have known Moehrig was going to fall, or they just gambled on the prospect of them being in the case of it, but Vegas style gambled and won. See, I'm with you on that, and a lot of people, including myself, was not happy about the Leatherwood pick. But if you believed and you thought that Moehrig had a chance to actually fall to you, you roll the dice and you go do that. And that's exactly what the Raiders did. So for that, I'm excited about the picks so far. Like I am actually pretty happy with the Raiders selections today. It makes me feel a lot better. Let's go to Can't Walk. It's one of my dudes here. Defense, and more defense. If you guys want the Raiders to continue to go ahead and take some defensive players, I want you to spam D in the comments. All right, let's go to the greatness of the Raiders here. Shout out like third round picks. Do a shot at tequila. So the only shots I'm doing, unfortunately, are for $50 supers. That's a rule by my bosses. It's not a rule by me. It's just because I got too hammered last night. I couldn't help out around the rest of the team. But I was told $50, then I can do some shots. All right, what up, Luke? Appreciate you watching, my man. Okay, last time I'm getting drunk and nobody is helping out. Let's get super class for Mitch. Super chat, I don't know what you mean. And the gang, they deserve our support and get them drunk too. Luke, much love to you, my man. I will take, you know what? Luke, you've been sending in a lot of supers. You deserve this. So give me a second here. I'll take a shot with you. Oh, God. I mean, no, it just tastes like bug spray. Like, the way bug spray smells is how I think of Grey Goose. Like, why not just take Fireball, or why not just drink, like Screwball or something good? Wow, that's wicked. Luke, appreciate you. Oh, before I forget. Oh, man, it's Shot Clock. Oh, no. All right, Jeremy, I don't know if we have the quote graphics moved over, but this is Shot Clock. This is how this game goes down here. So, basically, we're going to put on the clock here for 30 seconds, okay? 30 seconds goes on the clock. For every single $30 super chat that comes across, I got to take a shot. So if you guys send in 10, $30 super chats in 30 seconds, then I have to take a shot. So once Jeremy gives me the thumbs up, we're going to start the countdown clock. We're going to start the countdown timer. We can just, verbally do it. That's fine. I don't mind. So in 3, 2, 1, starting the clock. So for every $30 super chat that we get on here, either me or some member here of the Chat Sports team, we're going to take some shots. And all I have on tap, unfortunately, is some Grey Goose. But you know what? It's okay. We're going to get wild here, and if that's what it's got to take to have some fun here at the Raiders Report, I'm all for it here. So we got 15 seconds left. Again, $30 super chat. You just line them up. We're going to knock them down. When I drink, you guys drink too. I know Luke's being like, man, this is day 2. I'm ready to rock and roll. And, I appreciate you guys coming across. So we got, 1,729 people watching now. 1,366 likes. $261 in chat revenue. Once we hit 1,500 likes, do we have a goal for that? I don't even remember if we do. But you know what? I'm going to make a rule here. Once we hit 1,500 likes, there we go. There's Luke. Luke's so far been the MVP of today's show. Luke, just know that I appreciate you, my man. Also, we actually had another super chat from Ignacio that came in earlier, and then R. Jizzle, and then Big Mike. I wanted to give you guys some love as well, but appreciate all the... Okay, so Jeremy said he'll give you guys some love as well. We got Big Mike. There was another one that was R. Jizzle said Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders. I don't think it's going to happen. Ignacio sent in a $20 super, so... I believe the only $30 one that we got was from Luke. And then we got Chandler said, why is Dylan Moses slipping? It's because he shouldn't go in the top 4 rounds. And that's just me being real with you. I don't really think he's slipping. I know a lot of people were sending me mock drafts with him. It's just not a guy that I thought was all that good anymore after the knee injury. So, all right, let's go to Mark. What up, Mark? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. Okay, I might have been a little harsh in saying fire Mayock and Gruden. Mark, I think you and me both. I was literally like, if this draft does not go the way that it needs to go, you got to start seeing some of these guys, and, unfortunately, heads might roll, because when you're paid so much money to do a job, you need to be able to do that job well. And I don't really care, even if you don't make a lot of money. You're paid to do a job well, right? Like, if I didn't get good numbers here on the show, if people didn't watch the Raiders Report, I wouldn't be able to do the Raiders Report. So it's the same thing with Mayock and all these people. Like, if they're not doing their job well, it's time to move on. But today has been a lot better. Let's go to Oofers. I think I pronounced that right. How do you feel about Deonta Brown? He's a good guard out of Alabama. I don't see the Raiders going guard because they already have their starting guards, in my personal opinion. And then you also have some extra depth there in John Simpson. Let's go to Tim Durante. What up, my man? Here you go with our next pick, Mitch. And who do you think we should pick? So the interesting part of this is, like, the Raiders, they traded their 4th-round pick, okay? So your next picks are in round 5, 162, 167, and then I believe you have still picked 200 and then 230-something majig. So I've been live on Chat Sports YouTube channel as well, so we've been kind of going back and forth, up and down. So I don't know everything that's ultimately happened in the draft, but we've been doing a lot of different things. But I believe the next picks here for the Raiders are 162, 165. That's so far away at this point, it's really hard to be able to predict. But I will be coming out with a video tomorrow morning, probably doing another mock draft, or at least some players to target. All right, let's go to pick number 86 here by the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to go with Wyatt Davis, offensive guard from Ohio State. And he's a good player. I know we've talked about him here a few times. Actually, probably the first time I mentioned him was during the national championship game, and I was like, hey, the Raiders could potentially need some guards coming up here. This is definitely a player that you need to be able to look at because he's a good interior offensive lineman. All right, we got another super chat coming in here. What do we got? We got Danny R13 said, if you get 1,500 likes, you take a sip of Charles Woodson Intercept wine for Raider Nation next time. If I had it, I would love to. So Charles is actually a big fan of Chat Sports. So Chat Sports, I believe, is one of the biggest investors in Charles Woodson wine. So out of all the investors that he has, Chat Sports is actually one of the biggest investors in it. So that's a shout out to Charles Woodson there. And if I had some wine on me, I would be more than happy to drink it. Though, the last time that I had wine on a Raiders Report show, blacked out. I'm just going to be honest. Like, it was one of the worst hangovers I've ever had. Wine just kicks my ass. So if you guys love the Raiders and you bleed silver and black, I want you to go ahead and like the video right now. Please go ahead and do it. We would definitely appreciate it. What I'm going to also ask you guys to do, because we're at 1,417, once we get to 1,500 likes, I don't know if I have a beer opener. Do you have a beer opener by any chance? Yeah, beer opener. All right, so we're gonna chug a beer. So once we get to 1,500 likes, we'll take a beer down. It's the what? Oh, Texas. Jeremy's from Texas, so we got Texas stuff. But obviously, I don't even know how to use this. What's happening? Oh boy, we made a mess. We're okay. All right, once we get to 1,500 likes, we'll chug a beer. That was not easy to do, though. I feel like I feel like it should be a lot easier to open a beer. You got to know how to work a Texas thummy. Okay. Gotcha. So we got 1,650 people watching right now. So Jeremy also said he's going to have a beer with me. The issue is you're going to have – yeah, we got to get to 1,500 likes. We're at, 1,473 right now. I'm also going to refresh my computer, and I do want to give you guys a special reminder. Jeremy, after you get done chugging the beer, I want you to message James and say, hey, when can we do the $20 giveaway for people that are following Black Sunday now? So why don't you go ahead and do that while we're still waiting for the other 13 likes. This is going to be your last chance, I believe. And then we're going to give away $20 to people that go ahead, comment Mitch on Black Sunday Now's latest Instagram post. I'm going to put the link in the comments. So go ahead, like the video. What do we got here? What up, Gabe? Appreciate you watching. So if you go to this link right here, if you go ahead and click that link there, and then you comment Mitch. So you comment Mitch, and then all you got to do is go ahead and follow Black Sunday Now, and then we're going to be able to get you guys hooked up. So that's going to be your last chance. We're going to give away $20 to some random person that goes ahead and comments Mitch on that post. and then goes ahead and gives them a follow on Instagram as well. So what you guys are seeing right now, I want to give some love to Black Sunday Shop because they are one of the sponsors on today's show. They're also the shirt that I'm repping here. So if you guys are diehard Raider fans and you want to get an awesome deal, go to blacksundayshop.com. Raiders gear up to 20% off. So I've had these guys on the show before. One of my favorite shirts, and maybe it's because of COVID here, I couldn't quite fit in it. You can see right here, it's the Marcus Allen t-shirt. They have the awesome Marcus Allen t-shirt. They have this t-shirt as well. They also have some other awesome t-shirts that we can show you guys here probably in a little bit. But a lot of different awesome gear here by Black Sunday Shop. So go to blacksundayshop.com and you can get some Raiders gear up to 20% off. But we're also going to do this. We're giving away $20 if you go ahead and comment Mitch on their Instagram at Black Sunday Now. We're just going to pick one random guy, Venmo $20. 100% free to do, and it's also a great way to support the show here. So, Jeremy, if you could also show the people the other shirts here from Black Sunday Shop. It's in photo. Yeah. So they got a lot of awesome deals going on. They just launched a whole bunch of new t-shirts as well. I mean, I love this one. I mean, this looks exactly like, some awesome beer. So here's their Hall of Fame men's tee, Charles Woodson. If you want to go ahead and get this one, the one thing that I love about what Black Sunday does, not only do you get the shirt, you can see this. Oh, man, my hand doesn't quite reach. But you can see they have an awesome, collectible box. They have the best packaging in the business when it comes to Raider Nation gear. If you want high-quality Raiders gear, Black Sunday Shop is a great place to go. And if you use promo code, okay, or if you can save up to 20% off at blacksundayshop.com with promo code DRAFT, okay? Promo code DRAFT, blacksundayshop.com. You can also go ahead and get yourself a nice t-shirt like this because they sell a lot of different other kinds of silver and black gear. I know this is another one that I personally really like. One of their top sellers is the Marcus Allen. I know they also have a really sick Ice Cube one, which we're about to show you on screen. The Ice Cube one, to me, looks sick. I'm the type of guy where if I can wear some Raiders gear out with my girlfriend, who is always like, oh, you wear so much Raiders gear all the time. I'm like, but if I wear this and I put on a nice little jean jacket action, you throw on some nice white Nikes, dude, I'm happening. I'm styling. And she's like, all right, yeah, you do look pretty good. So one more time, it's blacksundayshop.com. Use promo code DRAFT where you can save up to 20% off. Promo code DRAFT, blacksundayshop.com. Get yourself some high-quality Raiders gear. All right, y'all. So what we're doing on today's show right now, there's 1,400 people watching. Got 1,500 people. We did get the 1,500 likes, so Jeremy's going to come on here. He's going to drink a beer with me, and he just got out of college, so he's probably going to whoop my you-know-what when it comes to this. And in terms of shotgunning, there's probably the top two shotgunners at Chat Sports are probably Chase and Jeremy. It's actually how he earned the nickname Jeremy Chugs. So he's about to you're going to actually shotgun a beer. No, hey, go for it. Shotgun a beer. Go. I'm never going to say don't shotgun a beer. So what I want you guys to do is start spamming Jay in the chat because his name's Jeremy. Or actually, you know what? Do Chugs. Let's get Chugs in there. Start spamming Chugs.
I don't want to spray it everywhere.
Oh, you're not going to – you shotgun or no?
No, I'm just going to chug it.
All right, guys. Everyone cheer on Chugs. Cheers to you, my man. Cheers to the nation. Oh, boy. That was not easy.
Oh, buddy.
That yesterday beer is starting to come up, man. Woo! Shout out to Jeremy Chugg. Shout out to Josh Smith. I want to know your honest opinion on this draft. Honest opinion of this draft. I'm going to look at it from a full sample size because if I look at it just on my picks alone, Leatherwood to me is probably like a B-, C+ type of grade. And then you also got Moehrig. That's an A+. Koonce, that's probably like a C+, B- grade. Divine Deablo, that's an A grade in my personal opinion. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm probably sitting somewhere around a B+. But from a total sample size, I like the picks a lot. You're feeling a lot of different types of needs. Now, the bigger wild card to me is probably Leatherwood. I think he's going to be a solid player, but he's going to be a very good pro. And he's going to be a good pro, I think, in the NFL for 10 years. Now, that has a lot of value. Does he have, let's say, the upside of some other picks that I personally wanted? No, but I think it's a very safe pick. Now, the pick that, Koonce at number 79, that's the little bit more of a wild card. If he turns out and really lives up to his hype, that's going to be an absolute steal. If he flames out, it could turn into somebody a little bit like an Arden Key. All right, here's some other picks that ended up happening here in the third round. Kendrick Green, center from Illinois. He's going to end up going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, so they get their Pouncey replacement. Trey Sermon, Pick number 88 overall, running back from Ohio State. That's really interesting. So if you guys play fantasy football, that could be a pretty interesting pickup there. Nico Collins, he's going off the board. He's going to go to the Houston Texans at pick number 89 overall. A pretty solid Michigan wide receiver. However, you find a lot of these players here that, are really talented, got all these skills, yet for whatever reason, don't really live up to too much hype when they come out of Michigan, but, we'll see the reasons here. We got, again, this is Josh Smith, honest opinion on the draft. I kind of just gave my personal opinion here. We got 2 more Super Chats, and as long as the Supers come, we can stay live here on the Raiders Report. As soon as they end, then I got to go. Mitch, what up, bro? Diablo is Cam Chancellor, and Koonce is rotational Leo. I love this draft now. I'll tell you what, the Cam Chancellor thing is a pretty interesting comp there. You're not the only person to say that. The other person that has given that comp is somebody that I actually also really respect in terms of the draft community. And if that's what it turns out to be, I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. Let's go to, I believe this is Papaya Man. I don't know if it's like Papa Ya Man. I believe it's Papaya. What do you think Gus Bradley will do with Amik Robertson? It's a good question. Robertson was definitely a player that I liked a lot coming out of Louisiana Tech. Drafted in round 4, 137 overall last year. A little bit undersized, but I think he had a lot of the good skill sets to be a solid slot corner. Now, if they use Diablo, and in terms of being able to play nickel, safety, move him all over the place here, I mean, that could take a major, major hit here for this Raiders team, especially for, a guy like Amik. All right, y'all, if you want to give us a follow on Instagram, I am at MitchellRenz365. I'll make you guys a deal. I'll give you a shout-out for every single person that goes ahead and gives me a follow. Right now, I am at MitchellRenz365. And if you want to go ahead and give producer Jeremy a follow on Twitter, he is at JIBeedling. And for everyone that goes ahead and gives him a follow, I'm going to make him turn on his producer mic because I'm not going to shout out people that follow you. I'm going to make you shout out the people that follow you. So if you want a shout out, give me a follow on IG. I'm going to refresh mine real quick here. We got Hector Borisco, Nicholas _07, Viciously _Sweet, Ark Williams. Those are my most recent follows on IG. Brian Zilla, and then Danny Bad Honey Bun Games. What a name there. All right, Jeremy, did anyone give you a follow on Twitter at JIB? He said, I chug beers and I'm not getting any love. Hernandez11, appreciate the follow. Go give my man Jeremy a follow. Come on. Somebody give him a follow at JIB. He's working hard back there. He's getting a little upset. Evan _ We got Air J. What up, my man? What else here? J Mergrio 408. Christian Lequez, and then Angel Martino. I think I got that right. If you go ahead and give me a follow on IG, we're just giving out shout-outs now. We got Mighty B Mario, Doobie17420. That's a hell of a name. 408 King David. Okay. I got you. We got Tree Death Slayer. Anything chugs. Somebody has to give you. Oh, Darth Per Boy, did you refresh? He said he refreshed. Oh man! All right, guys. I think those are all the shout-outs for now. In terms, if you want to give if you want to shout out on the show at MitchellRenz365, I'll make you guys a deal. First, wait. I got one. Jeremy got one. What'd you get?
My boy Jorge Grimaldo.
Jorge Grimaldo. Appreciate it, Jorge.
And Hollow X-Boy 81.
Hollow X-Boy 81. So what I want you guys to do is send Jeremy a question on Twitter. Whatever it is, I'll go ahead and answer it. It'll be like a free super chat because you gave my man a follow. All right, let's go to the next pick here in the draft. It's Patrick Jones, round 3, number 90 overall. So a pretty good player. Here's the thing, though. He went to the Senior Bowl, and he did not impress me a lot. Some people are going to sit here and say that he's a lot better player than what he is. Personally, I just don't see the natural athletic ability, round 4 grade. I think that he's going to struggle in the NFL because he doesn't have the great moves, and he's an average athlete at absolute best. Let's go to Henry here. What up, my man? Appreciate the super chat. Came back from a birthday party, so I missed the draft. You mind giving a quick rundown, on the Raiders report? Want to hear it from the best Las Vegas Raiders coverage. Well, that I definitely appreciate. You're going to make me blush here a little bit. So with the first pick, the Raiders took Alex Leatherwood, which I'm sure you know. Then in round 2, the Raiders traded up for Trevon Moehrig. They had to jump over the Dallas Cowboys. They gave up their 4th-round pick. Basically, this is what they did. They swapped 2nd-round picks, so 43 and 48, and then the Raiders gave up the 121, their 4th-round pick, for a 6th-round pick, which is like 236 or 8. For whatever reason, I can't remember the numbers. It's going back and forth. It might be 239. And then they got Malcolm Koonce, who's a good edge rusher out of Buffalo, a really athletic player. Like, I actually like this pick a lot. And then Divine Deablo. You want your Cam Chancellor type of replacement here, or I shouldn't say replacement, comp, and what it could be for this defense? That's who he is. He's like 6'2", 220 pounds, a very physical, versatile safety, strong safety nickel type of player from Virginia Tech. I know when this player was picked, I could literally hear Tom in the other room go, oh shit, that's a really good pick for the Raiders. So I'm excited about that. If I had to rank the picks, Moehrig's probably my favorite in terms of overall grade and we'll say value. Probably Diablo's number 2, Leatherwood, and then Koonce right here. All right, so we got Anthony Schwartz, probably the fastest receiver in this year's draft. I mean, 91 overall to the Cleveland Browns. So the Browns, I think, have been doing a very good job in the draft. However, I'm not the biggest fan of Schwartz. He's not a player that I would have taken. If you guys know, the very first Raiders mock draft I ever did, I had Schwartz going in round 6. So the fact that he's round 6 and now he's sitting here on the Browns, I did think it's a little bit of a reach, but he's going to be able to take the top off defenses, really stretch out their offense, if you will, which definitely helps a team that's really just trying to run the football. All right, y'all. So did you ask James when we can do the giveaway? Okay, so we have another Super Chat coming in, and then we are going to end up trying to figure out who's going to win the giveaway here for the $20 Venmo. Let's go to Simba. Yo, Mitch, love the show. It's my bro's birthday tomorrow. He's 14, and his name's Lucas. Can you give him a shout-out, and what do you think of the 3rd round? I like the 3rd round. I mean, Koonce is one of those players that, again, solid edge rusher. Divine Deablo, another really solid player there. So I'm going to give it like a B+, A- grade in terms of overall value. And then shout-out to Lucas. Everyone type HBD in the chat if he's 14 years old. Hopefully you guys aren't drinking. That's for sure. Once you turn 21, though, 1st round, that'll be on me. But shout out to Simba. Appreciate the Super Chat. I believe that's Canadian dollars, so I don't know what you guys do in Canada for birthdays, but we normally have cake. I absolutely love me some maple syrup, though, some Canadian bacon as well. But what we're going to be doing here. All right, so James is telling me this. We need 17 more comments that say Mitch on the link that I just put in the chat. It's on Black Sunday Now's Instagram, okay? So the company name is Black Sunday Shop. Their Instagram is Black Sunday Now. And if you're looking to save up to 20% off on some awesome Raiders gear, seriously, you can go ahead and you can save 20% off with code DRAFT. But what I want you to do is go to their Instagram account and then go ahead and if you put the name Mitch and their latest post, then we're going to Venmo the winner $20. So yesterday we had an awesome show. I'm trying to figure out ways to be able to give back to you guys a little bit. Plus, be able to show our sponsors a little bit of love here. So that's this t-shirt right here. If you want a whole bunch of their other shirts, you can also see a bunch of them on their IG. The one that you need to comment on, though, is the one with Trevon Moehrig. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm putting the link in there. Put the link in there. Comment Mitch. And then we're going to pick a random winner. Also, the only way that you're going to win is if you follow Black Sunday Now. It's literally the only way on Instagram. You can see they're at Hamel. Black Sunday Now is their at handle. And then comment Mitch. We're going to Venmo one winner $20. If you're looking for some more awesome Raiders gear, seriously, this is some of the most, I think, creative Raiders gear out there in terms of like stuff that I love to wear outside when I go out in public with my girlfriend. I always wear Raiders gear like with a jean jacket. This stuff looks really clean. Plus, the packaging. I'm a big fan of solid packaging, giggity, but like their collectible stuff, like they have things that I think every Raider fan should honestly collect, and that's what you're going to get here. So go to blacksundayshop.com, use code DRAFT to save 20% off. A lot of different styles of shirts as well, but if you want to win $20, it's at Black Sunday Now on Instagram, and I want you to comment Mitch. Are we? Yeah, you're good.
Winner, I picked at James T. Yoder is your winner.
Oh, my God.
Kidding. I got that guy. Random winner.
All right, so the winner of the $20 on Venmo is Chris O 1330. So if you're the winner, so James, he's going to reply to you right now. So it's Chris O 1330. You're the winner of the $20. James is going to reply to you right now on Instagram, and then we'll get you guys set up and get you $20. But hey, appreciate you guys supporting the sponsors, and we'll
Name in the chat. Somebody knows
Chris O 1330. Chris O 1330, winner. Just put it in there. Anthony said, I don't have an IG. Well, it's going to be hard for you to win then. All right, pick number 92, a linebacker from Georgia, Monty Rice, another pretty good player here. He's actually a guy who I had in my latest mock draft. I shouldn't say latest. My second to latest mock draft, and I believe Raider Honcho took him. I'm not 100% sure, but I did a mock draft with some of the other awesome people around Raider Nation. And, this was round 3, number 92 overall here. That was Monty Rice, linebacker from Georgia here. So what's going to happen now is I also got another super chat coming in. It's from Mario Arenas. Does the Diablo pick mean the end for Muse? R.I.P. Willie Brown missed him this draft. I don't think it means the end for Muse because no disrespect to Tanner Muse, I think the end was kind of already there. Muse was a reach. Now, the Raiders traded up for him at pick number 100 in round 3, but he was a 5th round, 6th round grade for me. But Muse plays linebacker. It's not the same position. So Muse is just going to be a special teams player at this point for the Raiders, and if he's anything more than that, I'll say I'm wrong, and I'll just say, you know what, I'm pretty surprised by that overall. But I don't think Diablo really has that much of an impact on somebody like Tanner Muse. All right, so let's look here at Downey's best available players. And I talked about Ronnie Perkins on today's show when I first came on. I was like, man, I can't believe he's still out there. Elijah Molden, another really good player. I mean, I'm eating my words. I thought, and I mean this, Molden would go before Javon Holland. So I don't know what the medical is, but Molden continues to slide down draft boards here, and I am very, very surprised that the slide has continued to go on as long as it has. I mean, that's pretty surprising to me. Let's also look at some other players here on Downey's best available. Jabril Cox. I mean, for the Raiders, I wish they'd have their 4th round pick, because that means that we won't have Moehrig, but if there would be some way where Jabril would be able to fall to 121, man, that'd be an absolute steal. Quinn Meinerz is another very interesting name. I'm actually pretty surprised he's still on the board. Baron Browning, a very good linebacker who I think has a very high upside in the National Football League. Hamza Nasir Deline, a good safety from Florida State. Another player we talked about a bunch here on today's or on the Raiders report in general. Deonta Brown at number 10. Brevin Jordan, tight end from Miami. And then Kenneth Gainwell, running back from Memphis. So I'm trying to figure out how many picks are left here in round 3. I believe only like 10 or 11 more. And then basically we're going to wrap up the show and once the super chats stop coming. But we got 1,300 people watching right now, 1,588 likes. So if you guys could, please go down in the comments right now and like the video. It helps us out a ton here. And if we can try to maybe get Black Sunday now to 25,000 followers on IG, shit, I think that'd be pretty cool. I know they're at 24,900 right now. All right, y'all, so what's going to happen now, if you want to have your questions on the show, if you want to talk more about the draft, please go ahead and use hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat. I don't think anything else in terms of the Raiders. I mean, they're not really going to be able to make a move here in round 3. They can't trade up to get any more draft capital. They no longer have a 4th round pick. So if you bleed silver and black, go ahead, like the video. If you have a question that you want to get on the show, please go ahead and do so. With the 93rd pick, the Buffalo Bills have selected Spencer Brown, offensive tackle from Northern Iowa. This was a dude where I actually had him in a mock draft at number 79 overall. A pretty good player. And when I think about Spencer Brown and what he's going to be able to bring to a roster, this pick actually makes a lot of sense here for the Buffalo Bills. But good player from top to bottom, and I think it's actually going to be a pretty good fit here for the Bills. All right, y'all, so I believe we actually just got, what's the last super chat we had? It's Raiders Suck Donkey D. Interesting. So Raiders Suck Donkey D. That was a pretty interesting name. Appreciate the super chat. No, I don't think so. I don't even want to. I don't even know. No, we don't have to show that because I don't want people doing most crazy things here. So what's going to happen here is I'm I'm going to get out of here unless you guys want to get some more questions coming in, but I don't see any super chats coming. So that was round 3, picks 79 and 80. I'm going to be making a video tomorrow morning for y'all with the Raiders mock draft and who I would take on day 3. We're also going to be live on Chat Sports as well, so please keep that in mind. If you want to join our live coverage tomorrow on Chat Sports, that would greatly be appreciated. So it's youtube.com/chatsportstv. We've had a lot of long days around here. I'm actually excited that I get to go eat some dinner. I am starving. But what's going to happen is this. If you guys want us to stay live, you keep sending on super chats. If you want me to bounce, I'm going to head out of here, and then I'm going to go get some food. So this is going to be our round 3 coverage, okay? Round 3. Day 3 coverage, round 4 to 7, starting at Saturday, okay, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. So 10 Central, 8 a.m. Pacific time. So I know it's going to be really early for a lot of y'all, but I will have a video first thing in the morning, like probably really honestly, it might even just do it tonight at this point. youtube.com/chatsportstv. I don't want you to miss our draft coverage. We've been doing an incredible job here. So if you could, please go ahead, subscribe. Take the link that you see below, youtube.com/chatsportstv, and we're going to be able to keep you guys updated. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to go through all the picks in round 3, or where are we starting, Jeremy? Or you want to do the Raiders picks? Okay, I was going to say. No, or I want to do the Raiders picks. That's fine. So before I leave, I want you guys to go down in the comments and get your grades in. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think about the Raiders picks so far in the draft? I know a lot of people are starting to panic on the Alex Leatherwood pick, me included. But then after you traded up for somebody like Trevon Moehrig, you got to be feeling a lot better at pick 43. Then you go out and get Malcolm Koonce, and then also Divine Deablo at pick number 80. Well, we did just get a super chat come in. So we'll go to a super chat here, and then we'll probably get things rounded up. The super chat's from Adrian Alvarez. If Jabril Cox goes into the 4th round, you think we'll be able to trade to get him? No. I don't really think that you'd be able to, because you only got 2 5th-round picks and you got 2 6th. But, like, that's not the value. Like, if I'm an NFL team, I'm probably not going to trade all those picks for a 4th-round pick. So, Adrian, I appreciate you. You're going to have to say that one more time, Jeremy. All right, y'all. So, shove that link, Mitchell. I don't know what that means by shove that link. You mean Instagram? I mean, I can do that. That's always an easy thing to do. Oh, did he finally? Oh, no, it's Ben Cleveland. Ben Cleveland off the board, number 94 overall to the Baltimore Ravens here, which means pick number 95. I mean, there's still a lot of solid players out there. I mean, I like actually what the Baltimore Ravens have done. They got Rashad Bateman, Odafe Oweh, who Odafe now is that's formerly Jason. He wants to be called by his official first name, and then Ben Cleveland. So what's going to happen now is what you guys are going to see is our Chat Sports main coverage on YouTube, where you guys can be able to break down every single one of our picks
in there if you're going on a trip, as well as the Lawnmower 3.0. Now, I recommend you use a different blade and maybe a different guard, but you can use that down low to clean up your nether region, or if Harrison needs to trim up his beard, you can do that as well with the Lawnmower 3.0, right?
It's more utilized downstairs, but Ben Cleveland, he's got the beard up here.
Yes.
If he goes to Manscaped, it's going to be nice and clean downstairs, which is what you want, especially if you are in a relationship. Go to manscaped.com/chat, 20% off. We appreciate them sponsoring our NFL draft coverage.
Let's take a look at what the Baltimore Ravens have done so far. They go with Rashad Bateman, so they get Lamar Jackson, a potential number 1 wide receiver.
One of my favorites for round 1.
And some of you watching might say, I thought it was Jason Oweh. Well, he decided to go with his original name now that he's been officially made an NFL draft player and NFL draft prospect and Baltimore Raven. This is his original name. So it's no longer Jason's Oweh.
His middle name.
Yes. A lot of people were mispronouncing that. So he said, you know what? Now that I've made it official as an NFL player, this is my real name now.
And
so I want to be addressed by that.
Odafe, I believe?
Odafe Oweh.
And by the way, I thought he made up a good point. He said you guys can learn to pronounce my name. He's absolutely correct. No one out there should feel weird and go by a different name because you have an abnormal first name. Good for you, Odafe Oweh. People need to learn, especially now that you're a first-round pick. And now they add an offensive lineman here in Ben Cleveland in round 3. I think a lot of how this draft will look in a couple of years, how does the Oweh pick go? We talked about it last night. Massive upside, also could bust. So that's going to determine how this draft looks here in a couple of years.
Yeah, because there just wasn't a ton of college production in terms of sack production for Odafe Oweh. Really intriguing conversation to have about the AFC North.
Ooh, it's loaded.
Who's going to win the division in 2021? I think you can make the argument the Browns might be the most talented team in the league, but the Baltimore Ravens, under Lamar Jackson, he just recorded his first win as a starting quarterback in the playoffs this past season. Who's going to win the AFC North in 2021? Type BAL for Ravens, CLE for the Browns, CIN for the Bengals, or PIT for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We also have a Baltimore Ravens channel here at Chat Sports that we recently just launched. We currently have 226 subscribers, and we're trying desperately to get to 1,000 subscribers. So go to youtube.com/RavensTV, subscribe to our Ravens channel, and once we get to 1,000 subscribers, you know what that means? We will continue to bust out and pump out more Baltimore Ravens coverage if we get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get to some more Super Chats here. Arnold Adams, hey, I know he chimed in last night with some Super Chats. Beer cheer for the Ravens announcement. Why no Ravens channel, though?
Hey, there you go.
There you go,
I just
Arnold
told you about
Adams.
it. By the way, I've got 226 subs. The race is on.
Cheer,
You're competing
Arnold.
with the Browns, the Giants. We got a Cardinals channel. Go if you're part of Ravens flock. YouTube.com/RavensTV. Appreciate that. Want to verbally shout out some other super chats real quick. Tamia Goodman, appreciate you. Clinton as well. Trust in Dallas Nation. And then Night Moon. And then, of course, Arnold, who just sent in the $10 super. You guys are awesome. If we guarantee you this at Chat Sports. If you super chat, we at least will shout you guys out. So we greatly appreciate it.
Pick number 95 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is now in, and they get Robert Hainsey, offensive guard out of Notre Dame, who I thought could have gone in the second or third round. The Buccaneers get him at 95 to continue to bulk up that offensive line to protect Tom Brady, and maybe in the future, Kyle Trask.
Been a lot of offensive linemen out of Notre Dame go today.
For real.
Banks went earlier, Eichenberg, and now Robert Hainsey, the offensive guard. And I'm with you. I thought he could have been like a late round 2 guy. He actually goes late round 3 here. Some people liked him better than Banks, who went middle round 2. So in terms of value, you could argue Tampa Bay won out on that deal. And I got to say, if Tryon ends up being a good pick, and we talked about him last night as well, I think in terms of what after this year could look like, he could plug right in for a guy like JPP. I like what they've done because they brought back every one of their starters, and they're like, let's throw a dart at Kyle Trask. Maybe he's not the guy, but maybe he is. Maybe he sits for 2 years behind Tom Brady, and he's the future starter. Now you add a piece up front in Robert Hainsey. Bucks, if Brady's still playing at a high level this year, this team's going to be tough to beat.
No question. You know what reaction I would have if I got drafted in the NFL draft?
This.
Thank you. I finally did it. All the hard work, sacrifice, the blood, sweat, and tears. Thank you.
That's
I
a
finally
heater.
did it. That's what Ronnie Perkins is doing in this photo, as well as when he just got drafted by the New England Patriots. Edge rusher out of Oklahoma. Can't believe he fell all the way to 96.
This value is arguably the best in the draft. I don't know if it's quite the best because I'm still like, how is Justin Fields on the board at 11?
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. On day 2, might be the best value here. I love Ronnie Perkins. I watched him a lot at Oklahoma. He's a 3-down defensive player. He can stop the run. He can get after the quarterback. He'll never be a 12-sack-a-year guy, but I think he'll be a 3-down player that gets you 6 to 8 sacks a year once he enters his prime, and he's good against the run as well. He sets the edge both in pass defense and in rush defense, which is what you're losing for, and he's a good enough athlete to not lose contain against these mobile quarterbacks. I love this pick by New England, and he's a top 50 player according to Tom Downey.
Yeah. Ronnie Perkins was Tom Downey's number 4 edge rusher, and producer Sam Brown went to Oklahoma. He's audibly gasping, and this pick
We're gonna
is
mic him
doing
up.
things to Sam Brown that I don't think he thought was possible. So we're going to bring on Sam Brown to offer his thoughts about Ronnie Perkins getting drafted to the Patriots
micing him up.
because I'm concerned at how he's reacting because I don't know if he's ever been this aroused before.
No, this is a great pick by New England. And shout out to Jack, who's sitting in the back, our Patriots fan. They just got a stud. I mean, Ronnie Perkins, Yes, the suspension at the start of the year was not a good look for him. Suspension for a failed drug test at the LSU game, college football semifinal in 2019.
Hey,
but
I would have done that as well if I gave up a 70 piece to Joe Burrow. So we'll give him a pass on that one.
You know, it definitely would have been different if he hadn't smoked weed or whatever it was. But this is a guy. He's so good. He's athletic. He's able to beat you with power, but also beat you around the edge. Oh, I'm happy for him. He is actually a very nice guy. Was always very nice to me and the media. And whenever I was a student, just graduated this last spring. But he's a baller, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Chase, I think you're right. I don't think Sam has ever been this aroused in his life by the pick of Ronnie Perkins. You may need to go to Manscaped, Sam.
He's a baller.
I'm really saying something because I was out with Sam Brown a couple weeks ago, and he was walking around with some dime piece.
I missed that.
And, you know, now Ronnie Perkins goes, and he seems more excited than that night when Sam Brown and I were out, just because Ronnie Perkins finally got drafted.
Don't tell her that.
I will not.
All right, the Chargers.
We'll be all right.
Chargers are on the clock here.
Get you somebody who does something to you like Ronnie Perkins does to Sam Brown.
That's all we can all hope for in life, right? Who's on the clock? Dallas, is this correct here, Sam? Dallas is on the clock. This pick is from the Chargers. There was a trade there. So Trey McKitty goes no trade, excuse me. Trey McKitty went to the Chargers now, and now the Cowboys are on the clock at number 98.
Yeah, so Trey McKitty, tight end out of Georgia, 22 years old, senior last year, has some solid size at 6'4", 246 pounds, did not run a 40-yard dash at his pro day, but this is a player who the Chargers are getting at 97, who can maybe be a solid weapon for Justin Herbert. At this point in the NFL draft, like, you're kind of taking chances on guys who have a little bit of upside, and I think that's the play for the Chargers here. I can't emphasize this enough. Like, when you have a young quarterback like Justin Herbert or a rookie quarterback, you have to do everything you can to continue to support them and provide them with weapons and support and guys who can straight up ball. Now, a lot of people thought Trey McKitty was going to go in the 5th or 6th round. Last year, solid numbers, 43 catches, 770 yards, but 12 touchdowns. I mean, the guy can definitely play.
So Trey McKitty goes to the Chargers. We'll see what Dallas does here. The pick is in for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's break down the Broncos pick here, though, at 98. Dallas on the clock at 98, 99. A couple of picks coming here very, very quickly. The pick is in for the Denver Broncos. They select Quinn Meinerz, a popular name in recent weeks and months, played Division III ball at Wisconsin Whitewater, the center from Division III.
Yeah, so he played at Wisconsin Whitewater, so a lot of people don't know who Quinn Meinerz is, but when he went to the Reese's Senior Bowl back a couple of months ago, he started to make a lot of noise. And this is a really nasty offensive lineman who will just beat you up and beat you down. Like, this guy has a bunch of potential. Now, after the Senior Bowl, he had a great performance. He rose up draft boards, and some people expected him to be a possible second-round pick. Denver Broncos get him at 98 overall. This is the type of cat, and I watched a feature on him this past week. He's got a cabin on an island in a lake in Canada. A family cabin. It's the most Quinn Meinerz Wisconsin Whitewater thing, especially when you look at the hairdo and you look at the guy and you think about his profile and his makeup. And basically what he does there, he brought a bench press and just put it in the middle of the forest and starts just repping 225 pounds.
You love it.
The cabins that one of his family members owns, it's all powered by propane tanks. So you know how he gets his workouts in? He puts propane tanks over one arm or both arms and does squats or starts walking around doing steps with a propane tank on his shoulders. Like, this guy is a blue-collar center who is so old school. And this is one of my favorite picks in the 3rd round. I'm not just saying that. Like, Quinn Meinerz is a dude. And when I say dude, he is nasty. And I think he's going to be one of the best centers of this draft class. I actually would have taken him above and ahead of Landon Dickerson, who went to the Philadelphia Eagles at like pick number 37.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the injury issues that Landon Dickerson has had, so I like Quinn Meinerz better. So for the Broncos to get him at 98, I love it.
Great value pick here. Like you said, this is a guy who, D3 college ball. He's get dirty down in the dirt type of player here as well. So top 100 pick sneaks in there out of Wisconsin Whitewater. A great story for the Division III prospect, and Denver gets better on their offensive line, as they apparently will roll with Drew Lock for at least one more year.
Or Teddy.
Or Teddy Gloves. We'll see what happens there. But scale the pick for us. Quinn Meinerz to Denver, scale 0 to 100. It sounds like you're at about a 95.
Yeah, I'm at a 95. Like, this is great, a great pick, because I think he can start for you right away and be a guy who's going to be in the league for about a decade.
Play center, play guard. I think he's got some
play both.
versatility there,
Yep.
and he should be a good piece on that offensive line. And now you kind of look at, okay, where's Denver sitting now? They got a comp pick coming up at 105 overall, so stay tuned for that. But you got Surtain, arguably one of the safest picks in the draft.
Probably,
at
yeah.
number 9. Javonte Williams, who you're starting to see some player comps for him come out where he can be really explosive. He's a physical runner as well. And now you had Quinn Meinerz, and you got one more pick to go here.
Yeah, and you look at what George Payton has done in his first year as a general manager. They're living in the AFC West. They're having to go up against the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and Derek Carr. They are facing some ferocious offenses who are going to pile up a bunch of points. So what George Payton has done, continued to just really add and provide a lot of resources for that defensive secondary. Kyle Fuller, they draft Patrick Surtain. Bradley Roby. I mean, they've done a bunch of things to build up this defense. Now they go Quinn Meinerz in the 3rd round. Love the pick of Patrick Surtain. Javonte Williams, running back out of North Carolina. He's a guy who's just vaulted up a bunch of draft boards. So I like what the Broncos have been doing. I'd give them a higher grade if they went with Justin Fields. He was on the board. Them not going with Justin Fields confused me, because I don't think Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater are the answers.
Yeah, so it's going to be fascinating to see how things shape out for Denver this year, because the roster's ready, right? It's just, can you get adequate enough quarterback play? You're going up against Mahomes. You're going up against Herbert. I like what they've done in this draft. Next step is finding consistent quarterback play. That way they can start winning in the AFC West, which is turning into arguably the toughest division in football. It's very, very difficult. So Quinn Meinerz, the pick here at number 98. Broncos fans, one of our newer channels is the Denver Broncos Breakdown. Producer Sam is actually one of our hosts on that channel. You see a lot of faces on our Broncos channel because it's one of our smaller ones. Chase, when we're growing a channel, you know how it is. You see multiple guys on multiple shows. We're trying to maximize resources here at Chat Sports. Let's get this channel to 3,000 subs. The Broncos are a fun, young, and up-and-coming team. YouTube.com/Broncos TV. We get to 3,000 subscribers. We can start doing more videos, and hey, this could be a fun team in 2021. The pick is in for the Dallas Cowboys at number 99. Nahshon Wright sneaks into the top 100. Number 288 overall on Tom Downey's big board. Is Jerry Jones running the draft for Dallas again? I just don't understand what's going on here. Unbelievable. 288!
I'm at a loss for words. And this is part of the brilliance of Tom Downey, because he puts in more work to the NFL draft than anybody out there.
I know.
The fact that he even has Nahshon Wright
on his board
at number 288. Tom Downey pours in hours and hours of research and film study. And when this pick came in, I'm not sure. I want to check in on Tom Downey. I want to make sure he's okay.
I'll tell you. Our boss is talking to us. Hang on.
Can we please?
I'll tell you straight up, and let's show some of the attributes here, Sam. Look, you look at the height, weight, and 40. You're like, oh, man, it's 6'4". He's 185 pounds. He runs a 4.47. He's got the measurables. You know what? Tom worked too hard for this to happen. He really did. No one loves the NFL draft and the Cowboys more than like the pie chart of those two overlapping. Tom's at the top of that list of loving the Cowboys and loving the draft. And I don't know what Dallas is doing. I just don't understand what their thought process has been throughout this NFL draft. If I had it now, I need to look at every pick for every team again. But if I had to spitball it, worst draft out of all 32 teams? I mean, it's been a disaster. What's been a good – Brett, what's been the best Cowboys pick? Parsons? By far.
Parsons
by far.
has to be the pick.
And it's not a need. It's just so bad.
I will say this to – I guess throw some positive towards the
try
Cowboys'
to do that
ways.
Because
Micah Parsons, for me, was the best defender in the draft.
Look, he's a good player.
I think he's going to be a game wrecker. So to get him at number 12, it might not have been a position of need. But I think they're going to, and then you made a good point of this, like I think they're going to move on from Leighton Vander Esch, right?
Yeah, they're not re-signing.
So maybe
unless
Micah
he goes back to 2018 LVE this year and plays all 16 games, he's gone.
Yeah. So so Micah Parsons replaces Leighton Vander Esch. I can make sense of that pick, and I like it because I'm high on Micah Parsons. I watched him in person multiple times. The dude is a baller. Everybody else, I don't understand. And I'm not just saying that because I'm around the Philadelphia area. I'm not just saying that. What are the Dallas Cowboys doing? I have no idea.
Oh, look, I think Dallas is the biggest NFL draft loser so far. You guys can weigh in, and I'd love to see what you guys think in the chat here. Someone says, let's see Tom. Is he? Do we have a photo or something like a screenshot? We took a photo, but it was a bad look, so we had to delete it because he was in such shambles. Vincent says Cowboys. Alex says Raiders. Raiders have rallied. They don't have the best, but they've had a decent draft here.
I love Trevon Moehrig.
Yeah, Moehrig's a good pick. Leatherwood's still probably a decent player. They just overdrafted him. Let's see. Eric is chanting Tom in the chat. Tom is yelling from one of our other studios breaking down this pick. I hope people were able to hear that. My man is in shambles right now on this one. So let us know, biggest draft loser. I think it's been Dallas. It's been pretty bad. By the way, we've been growing like crazy here at Chat Sports. I'm not sure if this number is updated, but we're trying to get to 250,000 subs. We'd like to get there by the NFL draft. Now, we still got a little bit ways to go, but essentially, if we double that number, we'll get there. We're almost at 246, then 247, 248, 249, 250. Here's the deal. Day 3 of the NFL draft, these other channels, they don't go live. They tap out after 2 days. We're going to be back up here early. We're going to be live before day 3 starts, and we're going to break down every single pick, and you'll see Tom in shambles again, I'm sure. So subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Myself, Chase Sr., Tom Downey, Mitchell Renz. By the way, round of applause to our behind-the-scenes crew here. We're really growing here at Chat Sports. We couldn't do it without these guys. Subscribe. It's free. It supports all of us, and it helps us continue to do what we love here at Chat Sports. We have another pick in here. Elijah Molden goes to Tennessee at 100. I like this pick. I think it's good value, and they've doubled down on corner in this draft.
Well, this is further proof as to why Tom Downey is in shambles, because Elijah Molden is on the board, and the Cowboys decide not to go with him.
What's going on? Melifonwu is still out there, too.
What's going on? So Elijah Molden, Caleb Farley. 2 young pieces for the Titans secondary.
Yep. And,
hey, we know that Mike Vrabel, longtime defensive player, Super Bowl champion, and they're going to continue to build this Titans defense. So Elijah Molden, Caleb Farley, I kind of like that 1-2 punch at the DB spot for the Titans.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick overall. Ifeatu Melifonwu, another corner that went. Shout out Dallas for taking a guy literally no one but Tom has heard of. He goes 101 overall to Detroit, really skyrocketed later in the draft process out of Syracuse.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that Melifonwu went this late. Like, I thought he was
like early round 3.
Pretty good player.
Like 20, 25 picks ago.
Yeah. So I think this is a good pickup for the Detroit Lions. And what have we seen?
I like their draft.
Yeah, I do too.
They got to rebuild.
I know Dan Campbell had that disastrous opening press conference where he was talking about players with the Lions.
Cutting off knees,
biting off kneecaps and stuff like that. But what they've done is they have focused on positions that you build your football team with.
O-line,
D-line, corner. Like, I like what the Detroit Lions are doing, and they have like a bunch of what Tom would say is boomers maybe within that front office because they brought back a lot of former guys who were affiliated with that franchise. I didn't have a lot of confidence in the Detroit Lions going into the draft.
It's been a good draft,
but
though.
they've done a pretty good job so far.
The way they've approached this draft, to me, this has been a classic BPA draft for them. Penei Sewell, is left tackle their biggest need? No. But was he the best player? Not even close. He was definitely the best player on the board by a long shot. So, hey, I love what Detroit has done. I also love hearing Tom Downey in shambles because then you see his personality really come out. You guys might be able to hear him in the background here. He's filming from one of our other studios. Type Tom in the live chat if you want to see him come in here, if you want to see him in shambles, because it's been epic. Chase and I, our ears are bleeding hearing Tom Downey just about 50 feet away.
He is fired up right now.
Yes.
To the likes of, I'm not sure, look, I've been with Chat Sports for 2 months, but I hear Tom Downey and I see him on one of the screens. He is absolutely going in right now. And I'm looking at like the audio levels on his screen. They're reaching red.
Good luck to our producer keeping him at a controlled volume.
Hopefully that headphone volume is down because Tom Downey is beside himself. If you want to cheer him up, type Tom in the chat. Yeah.
Help him out. We'll get some shout-outs here, by the way. Logan says Tom. Mike, Nathan, Connor, Mike, Leighton, Douglas, Logan, Daniel, Kaysen, Mark, Connor, Luis, Seb, Nasir, Spencer, Peyton. Continue to type Tom in the comments. And, hey, I'll tell you what. When this video he's filming is public on our Cowboys channel, we may have to throw it in the live chat so you guys can see it in real time because it's something to behold. The 49ers have selected Ambry Thomas, the cornerback out of Michigan, round 3, pick number 102. Chase, corner was a need for San Francisco. A lot of them have gone in this draft already, but they find one with Thomas out of Michigan.
Yeah, so I've hosted a lot of our 49ers Report shows, and in the mock drafts that I did, I was addressing cornerback in the 2nd round as well as the 3rd round, depending on which mock draft you were looking at. Now, the 49ers traded out of 43 and moved back, and they elected to go offensive line. Asante Samuel Jr. went right before they made that selection. That's the pick I would have made in the 2nd round at 43. I would have loved Asante Samuel to the 49ers at 43. Instead, they go offensive line, and in the 3rd round, they go Ambry Thomas. There's no doubt it's a position of need. Here's the thing, though. They brought back a lot of veterans in this secondary who are good players, right? But you have to start inserting young talent on this roster. Ambry Thomas is the start of the youth movement at the cornerback spot and really in the whole secondary for the 49ers. So I see the thinking here. I would have stayed put at 43 and drafted Ambry Thomas. Instead, they get Asante Samuel rather. Instead, they get Ambry Thomas at 102, which was a comp pick.
Listen, 5'11", he runs a 4.4 flat, so good athlete. We saw him flash at times at Michigan. You're betting on some upside, some athleticism here if you are San Francisco, where comp pick in round 3, I think this is about the time you can afford to do that. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the pick for the Michigan corner, Ambry Thomas, going to the San Francisco 49ers. By the way, we should mention some Wolverines starting to go off the board here on day 2 of the NFL draft. Grade this pick for us, A, B, C, D, or F. And just a few more thoughts on this pick for the 49ers. I think you kind of mentioned it. The secondary, it's a retooling process right now. Richard Sherman, I don't think he's coming back barring something we haven't seen in terms of like the chatter
I would like
that's
it.
out there.
I don't think it happens.
I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to move on there. You got Jason Verrett back, who played really well last year. If he's healthy again, I think you're comfortable with that. You add Thomas, who can give you. He's got some versatility. He can play some nickel. He can play some outside.
Special teams as well.
Special teams should be. He should have an immediate role on that front as well. So I think if you're San Francisco, not a lot of draft picks in this draft after you decided to move up for Trey Lance. You got to hope that you hit on some of these picks.
Yeah, and I think more and more as the NFL game kind of progresses, you're looking for guys who fill multiple needs. You only have 53 roster spots, so you're looking for some versatility. So that's what this pick does with Ambry Thomas. So he can kind of play a variety of positions inside, outside, but he can also play special teams. And back in 2018, he returned some kicks for Michigan.
He can give you some kick
and returned a kick 99 yards, took it to the crib. In 2019, he was 3rd team All Big Ten. Opted out in 2020, so did not play in 2020, but has some potential and fills a position of need for the 49ers.
Appreciate the super chat from Arnold Adams. Fireball for the Ravens, boys. Send one to Tom, too. R.I.P. Cowboys. Speaking of fireball, any ideas on how to avoid razor burn? Fellas, go to Manscaped. We're not wearing the shirts by accident. They're a badass sponsor. You clean the jewels downstairs. Go to Manscaped. Manscaped.com/chat to get 20% off. We loading up the shots, boys. 50
for
bucks.
sure. Let's go.
Fireball.
No doubt. Let's get it.
Sam, you coming in? You coming up?
I want to know how much money.
Shot?
Yeah, I want to know how much money Arnold Adams.
Looks like Marshall and Yoder coming in too.
Got it.
Yoder, you can come.
James, let's go.
Yoder's hurt. Marshall, get up here. We'll
Hurt
use
his
these.
leg.
We got some shot glasses up here. Give me a little pour, senior. Yeah.
Give me a shot glass.
You throw a good pour.
Yep. Chase, you're really good at
These are the Texas
shots
thumpers right here,
and
boys.
shotgunning beers.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
We got to cheers up on this one. Producer Sam's going to come up as well. We'll do Marshall on my camera. Come on over here, Marshall.
Need another shot glass.
Marshall
for
Green has
Sam.
been grinding during the draft behind the scenes right here. He's rocking the Eli Super Bowl jersey. I mean, who does that? A badass.
Mitchell
That's all I
Renz called
know.
him a walking tampon.
We got to get. Hey, we've rallied since then.
Damaged his ego. As Marshall would say, Marshall got completely bodied.
Marshall got bodied, but you know
go,
what? He'll bounce back like he always does. Producer Sam, you guys see him from time to time.
For
He's
Arnold
crushing it.
Adams.
Arnold Adams.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate the 50. Appreciate the 50 burger.
I could use another shotgun too for another $50 super
Oh, I
chat.
thought you were gonna say another shot. I could too.
I mean, let's go.
$50.
We might as well.
No, we got to get another. We got to
Okay.
get another super chat.
That's fine.
We get another super.
Marshall might want another shot.
Oh, how about this? We're almost at 5,000 likes. 5,000 likes, we'll do another one. So Marshall.
And a roulette spin.
We'll do both. We'll
and
double
a
down.
$50 super chat. I will shotgun another beer.
5,000 likes. We will do another shot of Fireball. So go ahead and like this video. Do we have any more picks, Sam, while we await 5,000 here? We're 100 likes away. 100 likes away from 5,000. If we hit it, I'll spin the roulette wheel, which means one of us will have to do some kind of challenge. We'll take a shot, and Chase will shotgun a beer. Hey, that's good bang for your buck. All you got to do is like the video. We only need 84 more likes, so go ahead and help us get there. And until then, we'll see what's going on in the NFL draft. Where are we at 103? Who's on the clock? Do we know who's on the clock? Do we know what team? 103 about to come through here for the Los Angeles Rams. It's Ernest Jones, the linebacker out of South Carolina. 6'1", 230, third-round pick here, Chase.
Yeah, so Ernest Jones, linebacker out of South Carolina, going to the Los Angeles Rams.
Did not test well. 4.7 in the 40.
Yeah, 4.7 40, that's not going to cut it for a linebacker, especially if
in today's game.
If you have to drop back in coverage, you're going to get shredded by wide receivers and tight ends.
Yeah.
And I'm also interested to see, how are the Rams defensively now that Brandon Staley has left?
Good point.
Because people were talking about Brandon Staley last year as the Sean McVay of defense. So he's now out. What's the defense going to be like? We'll see what Ernest Jones can do with the Rams.
The Baltimore Ravens select at number 104 overall Brandon Stephens out of Plano, Texas, the cornerback out of SMU. Tom Downey had a 5th-round grade on him. We've seen a lot of corners go off the board, Chase, late in this 3rd round.
Yeah, and he was in college for a long time. Started going to UCLA back in 2016. Actually started out as a running back. So from 2016 through 2018, he was a UCLA Bruin. 95 yards rushing back in 2016, 182 yards rushing back in 2017, redshirted 2018. That is when he transferred to SMU and also changed positions. So he was moved from running back to cornerback during preseason camp. And then in 2020, he led the team in passes defended. So, and was also the team captain. So what does that tell you? This is a good character guy who changed positions. Things weren't working out for him, made the adjustment, and now he gets drafted in the 3rd round. Good story right there.
As someone who's lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex since 2012, went to college at SMU's rival, TCU, I can tell you this, SMU in the last couple of years has really turned around its football program. They've been a dead program for a while. Won 10 games a couple of years ago. Were pretty good last year as well. And that defense improving was a big reason why. And Brandon Stephens was a part of that. 10 pass breakups this past year, had an interception, only gave up about 50% completion, which in the American Athletic Conference, that's a high-passing attack league with schools like Memphis and Houston and Cincinnati who are just slinging it all over the place. I think overall it's a bit of a reach, but there's some good athletic traits here, and the character stuff you're talking about fits right in with what Baltimore likes.
No question. So, hey, if you like the Brandon Stephens selection to the Baltimore Ravens, get into the comments, type like it. If you don't like it, type hate it, Harrison.
Yeah, I definitely like the pick overall, and I think overall I like what Baltimore has done. You could say they've reached a couple of times, but the Bateman pick is one of my favorites. I think he's an undervalued wide receiver in this class. I think he could end up being a really, really good pro. We'll see how Odafe Owe projects. If you're just joining us, Jason Owe, he's going by his first name now, Odafe. We wanted to honor that here at Chat Sports. Ben Cleveland, and now Brandon Stephens, the pick, late here in round 3 overall. He goes to Baltimore, number 104, and SMU product finds a home in the NFL.
Yeah, so I do kind of like this pick. And the other good thing here, Brandon Stephens, Wink Martindale, he is one of the best developers of defensive talent.
6 foot, 213 at the corner spot, can run a mid 4.4.
Love
you like
the
those
size.
traits.
Yeah,
you
love the size. So it
the
wouldn't surprise
athleticism.
me if like Brandon Stephens is able to make an immediate impact with the Ravens.
Special teams at the very least.
Great
you would
culture, great coaching, and the ability is certainly there. Of course he's raw because he was playing running back at UCLA, and he's only had limited time at cornerback.
You know what this reminds me of? You remember Isaiah Johnson to the Raiders a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Played at the University of Houston, started as a receiver, switched to corner, and they're betting on athleticism there. Very similar here for Brandon Stephens to the Baltimore Ravens, similar career paths in college. So we'll see if the Ravens are right on betting on his athleticism. Round 3, pick number 105 goes to the Denver Broncos. Baron Browning, linebacker, Ohio State, a heater of a graphic right there from producer Sam. And Chase, Baron Browning, for those of you who don't know his background, 5-star recruit. Like, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. He kind of played all 3 linebacker spots at Ohio State because he never really put it all together. This is we're going to bet on that untapped potential pick.
No doubt.
That is exactly what this is by Denver.
I'm fascinated as to what the Broncos are doing. Like, in free agency and in the draft, they're like, yo, we got to go up against Patrick Mahomes 2 times a year. We got to go up against Justin Herbert 2 times a year. We are going all in on defense. Now, I like that approach. I don't necessarily like the approach of neglecting the quarterback position because I don't think Drew Lock is it. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is obviously the long-term answer. But what they are doing defensively fascinates me, and I absolutely love it. And Baron Browning is a guy who you take a chance on at 105 because you try to bet on that potential upside, because if you hit it, this dude is an athletic freak. And if it comes together, he could be really good.
Baron Browning looks like a modern-day all-pro linebacker. 6'2", 255, runs a 4.5, has coverage skills, can play against the run. Now it's about finding consistency. It's about finding a position that suits him best. Is he a weak side linebacker? Is he a middle linebacker? Is he a Sam? Do you want him dropping in coverage more? Do you bring him on blitzes? There is potential in this guy, and Baron Browning. It's bizarre that Ohio State couldn't find it because they're chugging out first-round pros like nobody's business these days. But, hey, I'm with you. At 105 overall, this is let's take a shot. Worst-case scenario, he's a rotation guy.
Yeah, and you talked about him being a 5-star recruit out of high school. He was the #1 outside linebacker in his class.
His high school highlight tape is unbelievable.
Ridiculous, right? And the #4 recruit in Texas. And he was behind guys like Marvin Wilson out of Florida State, who's a great prospect in this draft class. Jeff Okudah, who was a top 10 pick to the Detroit Lions last year. Hasn't necessarily worked out, didn't have the greatest rookie campaign, but certainly has potential because he was injured. But, yeah, Baron Browning and the production, hey, it was okay.
Yeah.
Not great throughout his Ohio State career, 3rd team All Big Ten in 2020. But again, this is a potential upside pick.
Massive
for the Denver
upside. I mean,
Broncos.
this is a first-round potential guy. Like, maybe we'll never see that. We haven't seen it yet. Didn't see it at Ohio State. But if I'm grading it, I mean, I'm giving it like a 90 because I think the floor here is you have a good special teams player and a rotation linebacker. The ceiling is you may have a 5-time Pro Bowl linebacker type. Like, I really do think he's got that type of potential and upside. Now, again, we'll have to wait and see. Vic Fangio, if anybody can find that talent, it's the head coach of the Broncos who guided that 2018 Bears defense to one of the best in recent memory.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a chance to be special with Denver if he's given the right guidance. Looks like we hit 5,000 likes, or we're about to. Round 3 is over. We'll recap the picks shortly, I assume. Is that the plan, producer Sam? No one has told me. We'll recap round 2 and round 3 very, very shortly. But real quick, if we get to 5,000 likes, we're going to spin the wheel. I'm going to take a shot. Chase is going to shotgun a beer. We're ready to rock here.
That's right.
So get us to 5,000 likes. And once we get there, we'll pause our recap. We'll do those things for you, and then we'll continue to cycle through the picks as well. So stick with us here. More coverage here on Chat Sports. So don't go anywhere. Like the video, and let's recap some picks, man. It's been a long day too, but I'm ready to get after it and kind of sprint through these here as we start at 33 overall with Jacksonville. We're not going to talk about every player for 2 minutes or anything like that. Maybe in chunks of 4. Which one stands out in this first one? To me, Elijah Moore to the Jets. They continue to build around Zach Wilson.
Love what they're doing. I mean, they provide him some protection on the offensive line. They also get him some weapons in addition to Corey Davis, who they brought in free agency. And, of course, we're not going to spend a bunch of time, but I like Elijah Moore to the New York Jets, no doubt. Tyson Campbell, really good cornerback prospect. Javonte Williams, really good running back, too, that the Denver Broncos got at pick number 35. He's been really going up draft boards quickly. And Javon Holland to the Miami Dolphins at pick number 36.
Yeah, Philadelphia gets Landon Dickerson, the center, if healthy, probably the best center prospect in this class. I thought that was a calculated pick there from Philly. Christian Barmore, Patriots trade up. They go get their guy, and Ryan Pace stole the day again in round 2, Chase. He gets Justin Fields on day 1, and he trades up for Teven Jenkins, a top 20 player on Tom Downey's board.
I'm thinking about some of the biggest winners of the draft so far. I think I might have to crown the Chicago Bears.
They've only had 2 picks, but maybe the 2 best picks.
Ryan Pace, deservedly so, has taken a lot of slack because he's missed on a bunch of quarterbacks, right? But for him to get Justin Fields and get Teven Jenkins, where he got them
Convicted
and what they got
too.
them for, great stuff from Chicago.
Next 4 picks here. Levi I'm not even going to attempt to. I've never been able to pronounce his name. Liam Eichenberg. I like this trade up from Miami there, Chase. And then Trevon Moehrig. I know you're a huge fan of that. And I am as well, as he went to my alma mater, TCU.
It's disrespectful that we're not valuing safeties in a pass-happy NFL anymore. How are we not valuing safeties? How does Trevon Moehrig go at 43 after Richie Grant? I don't know, but for Las Vegas to get him at 43, straight up steal.
Shout out to the Cowboys, one of many bizarre picks. Walker Little goes to the Jags as they look to protect Trevor Lawrence. I thought that was a bit rich for him, but he's got some major upside as a left tackle. You saw some offensive linemen start to go off the board, and I know Asante Samuel is one of your favorite prospects.
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz about Asante Samuel sneaking into the back half of the first round, and I think he has that type of talent. Now, he's not the biggest corner, and that's why probably he slid all the way back to number 47, but for the Chargers to get him where they got him, that's a great pick, and I think the 49ers were going to get him at 48 if the Chargers didn't swoop in.
How do you feel about Rondale Moore to Arizona? I really like this pick. Ojulari to the Giants, Cosmi, and then Owusu-Koramoah, who we've talked about a lot, but you and I haven't talked about Rondale Moore together. In Kingsbury's offense, it feels pretty fun.
I think he's a perfect fit for Cliff Kingsbury's offense. Now, Rondale Moore at Purdue a couple of years ago kind of burst onto the scene and was really good a couple of years ago, but the production has dipped the last couple of years. What's the big reason for that? It's been scheme fit. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore if you're Rondale Moore because you're going to Arizona with Kyler Murray, with Christian Kirk, a couple of other really good weapons, DeAndre Hopkins as well, where Cliff Kingsbury is going to be able to scheme you open. That's a great pick for Arizona. Yeah, seriously. Freiermuth, yeah. It is such a McVay pick.
Pre-snap motion, jet sweeps. Let's get the ball in space. That's going to be a fun pick there in LA.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Like, Sean McVay, this is the total Sean McVay pick. Because, look, Tutu Atwell, he might be 140. He's less than 150 pounds. I know that for sure. That's certainly a concern. Sean McVay doesn't look at it that way. He looks at Tutu Atwell as an explosive weapon who can take it to the house at any time.
One of the picks that really stood out was Kyle Trask to the Tampa Bay to round out round 2. They said, you know what? Our roster's in good shape. Let's take a guy that can sit behind Tom Brady for a couple of years. I love the pick.
So last year, this might have been a bad tweet, and maybe it'll be on Old Takes Exposed at some point as we continue to grow here at Chat Sports and my personal following grows. But I did say last year at some point, Mac Jones and Kyle Trask are going to sneak into the first round. I was right on Mac Jones. Kyle Trask, not necessarily. But for him to go behind Tom Brady, hey, the GOAT, I think that's a great spot for him to go.
What do you guys think the best pick of round 2 was? There were certainly some ones that really stood out. I love Teven Jenkins to Chicago. I love Trevon Moehrig to the Raiders at 43. Those were a couple. I do like the Trask pick as well.
Yeah, no, I like the Kyle Trask pick. Tutu Atwell, maybe a little bit of a reach. I'm going Trevon Moehrig.
Yeah.
I think that was the best pick of round 2. Because it filled a need,
20 guys on some people's
and I think
boards.
he's a baller. The health concerns are there for sure, but if he's healthy, baller.
Yeah, he was an excellent player at TCU. Let us know, best player in round 2. I'm seeing a Moehrig from Dallas. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, you got to include him as well.
That's up
Especially
there, no
Cleveland, man, you got to feel good about where you're sitting if you're the Browns. Richie Grant to the Falcons. Terrace Marshall, that's another good one. There's a lot of good value that you can find in these middle rounds, which is what we've seen today. So let's take a look at round. Are we doing best? Are we not looking at round 3 recap? Okay, we'll take a look at Downey's best available here after recapping round 2. Michael Carter, the running back out of North Carolina, who don't sleep on him just because they had Javonte Williams. Both these guys were studs at North Carolina. Jabril Cox, Tylan Wallace, a couple of other guys I like as well.
Really like Jabril Cox. I think he gives you versatility at the linebacker position. Tylan Wallace, another guy who you got to develop him, but he could end up being a really good player as well.
You got Deontay Brown, the offensive guard out of Alabama. I expect him to be an early round 4 pick. I was surprised. I like Brevin Jordan a lot. Kenneth Gainwell is a fun player out of Memphis. He's very similar to Antonio, who's the Washington running back? Antonio Gibson.
Okay.
He can play some receiver. He can play some running back. He's versatile. And then I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I thought he should have gone on day 2.
I do too. And for some reason, because USC isn't the program that it was under Pete Carroll, a lot of people have been sleeping on some of these USC prospects.
Yep.
Like, it kind of confuses me a little bit. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, the product of people sleeping on USC.
You got Davion Nixon there. Trey Smith is a guard I thought was worthy of a day 2 selection. He does not go.
Had blood clots, so some concerns there.
I like Jamar Johnson out of Indiana. I know there's been some character issues. I think he's thrown a couple of punches in some games in college, so you had that going on. But there's some real value on day 3, and we are going to be live here on Chat Sports. You'll see Chase, you'll see myself, you'll see Tom Downey, who is getting NFL draft grades ready as we speak for day 2. So he will hop in here shortly as Chase and I will hop out here in just a couple of moments. But in the meantime, Sam, we reached 5,000 likes, so we owe the folks some stuff here. I got to spin the roulette wheel here. I also got to take a shot, and Chase has to shotgun a beer. So, Marshall, if you want to get Chase a beer to shotgun, we'll go ahead and we'll make that happen. 35 black here. Jeremy, let's get a beer for Chase, please. Pong time. Do we have a pong ball?
We'll get it soon.
We'll get a pong ball. We got to play a little pong. I'll shoot it to Chase. Or do we each get a shot? How are we doing this? All right, Chase, you can. I'll let you decide. You can hold or shoot. I'm indifferent.
Well, I am a shooter.
Shoot or shoot.
Shooter senior.
Hey, we had a pong tournament recently, and it was.
We should let the public know that we have a bunch of ballers in this office when it comes to beer pong.
Hey, we get it done. So
some cold-blooded.
So Chase is gonna shoot here to me, and then we'll do some of these other things we've promised as well.
So if I make it, you shotgun. Is that the deal?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
No. You're the shotgun expert.
All right,
here we go.
go.
Oh,
Airball.
a little short. But
all
hey,
good.
we have fun here at Chat
Shooter,
Sports. This is what we're all about. get me a shot going, Chase, and then you can
Got you.
you can shotgun your beer as well. And Sam, we got the stopwatch ready. We gonna try and top 271, or are we just gonna free ride it here? We already got one.
I got
but
two now.
I'll get the stopwatch.
We'll get the stopwatch.
See. I mean, 271 is going to be hard.
Cheers
to
to
beat.
Yeah, I don't
everybody
think I'm
who's been a
beating
part of our live
271.
coverage. I'll take my shot, and then Chase is going to shotgun here. Tom's gearing up for NFL grade, so he will be with us shortly.
We'll take another super chat to celebrate this, though, worth $50. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
if you send a 50 burger in, we'll basically take another shot.
Hey,
so
$50 super chat, and we bring in producer Jeremy, who's also a pretty good
Jeremy
shotgunner.
Chugs can shotgun as well.
Yeah,
so
so
$50
another $50 super chat,
We'll get
Jeremy
Jeremy
comes in.
Chugs in here.
What's up?
Do you want one? Okay, hop in here. You guys have been working hard behind the scenes.
Jeremy, if you want a shot, go for it.
If you guys want a shot, let's get this done quick. Tom's ready to come in here soon for NFL draft grades. Marshall and Jeremy, shout out to Perry and Jack behind the scenes as well. A couple of our new guys here at Chat Sports, they've really been crushing it behind the scenes. They make Chase and I look good on air. I'll just leave it at that as Chase gets that shotgun down. Marsh is gonna
It's cold.
get another sluggy down. Appreciate Eli Jr. on that one. So there you go, $50 super. We'll do something. We'll take another shot. We'll have some fun.
Hold on.
Appreciate you guys. Where do we want to go from here, Sam? Do we want to recap round 3 maybe while Tom continues to gear
Real
up?
quick while we
draft
do,
grades.
before
Let's
we
kind of
do.
sprint through this, Chase. We'll go a little
on.
quicker
Before we do.
in just a moment. Before we do that, though,
Get your last-minute super chats.
before we go, it's not too late to super chat and support the show.
Never too late.
I want to shout out everybody who has
Malik,
super
no
chatted.
stop the quake.
No, no, stop the quake. Let's see. Is the draft over? Mohammed, day 2 is over, but we're going to be live for every pick on round 3. So there you go. We'll shout out every super chat. So do I have to go to the beginning? Is that how this works? I got you. If we get more super chats, we're going to shout you out. So go ahead and do that. That's what we guarantee at Chat Sports. Over $1,000 in supers tonight. You guys have been awesome through 2 days of the draft. And, hey, we're going to be back tomorrow as well. Join us tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time. It'll either be 11 a.m. or 11:30. We'll either go 30 minutes or an hour before the start of day 3 on this channel. Tentatively 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll see. Just subscribe. Turn on notifications. You'll know exactly when we go live here on Chat Sports. Couple players on screen still available. Sam Ehlinger, we'll see when he gets drafted. Sean Wade, his stock has fallen off a cliff here, Chase.
Yeah,
but
All-American last year.
We will
2
announce.
years ago.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
All-American. We'll see when those guys and many other top prospects go as well. Let's sprint through round 3, Chase, and recap these picks. A couple of quarterbacks in Kellen Mond, Davis Mills. Real quick, which fit do you like better?
Well, I don't know about fit. Like Jalen Mayfield to the Falcons is a good
I like
fit.
that. Yeah.
The one I'm most intrigued by, Kellen Mond.
I'm ready for the Minnesota.
I'm ready for Kellen
Minnesota
Mond
drama. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Joseph Asai, I like the value here for Cincinnati early in round 3. Aaron Robinson was a good pick as well. How about the Paulson Adebo pick out of Stanford? He was getting round 1 buzz. He falls to the 3rd to New Orleans. Now, he was getting that buzz last year, opted out this year. Stock goes down a bit, but I think they found a good player in Adebo here.
Yeah, so like Sean Payton is very confident in himself and always tries to act like the smartest guy in the room. Sometimes it works out. Other times it doesn't
Other
because
times
they
he pays
reach.
Taysom Hill $20 million.
Exactly, and they reach on a lot of prospects. Adebo, on the other hand,
Good value.
like it.
Yeah, Josh Palmer out of Tennessee. He goes to the Chargers. Malcolm Koonce lands with the Raiders, as does Divine Deablo. I'm intrigued by the safety tandem of Deablo and Moehrig, how that all is going to work with Jonathan Abram with Vegas. Hunter Long, the tight end, goes to the Dolphins. Diami Brown to Washington. I like what Washington has done in this draft. And then, Chase, another bizarre Cowboys pick, Chauncey Golston in round 3.
Man.
It's hard to comprehend.
What are the Dallas Cowboys doing? I have absolutely no
I don't know.
idea. I think
Micah
Cowboys fans are asking the same question.
Micah Parsons better be an all-pro.
And we're
that's-
just getting started on the
that's-
Cowboys.
yeah, stay tuned. Amari Rodgers, hopefully Aaron can get back on track because I think he could be a better Randall Cobb, honestly. Like I think he's got more upside there. Nico Collins was another notable pick here on day 3. He went to the Houston Texans. Monty Rice out of Georgia. He lands in Tennessee. Obviously, Anthony Schwartz to Cleveland. that one catches some eyes as well. I think that's a good fit for him because he's not going to be asked to be like a number 2 receiver or something like that.
Yeah, 4'2", 40 guy, more of a gadget guy, and on an offense that has a bunch of weapons, I actually think he figures in nicely to their offensive plans.
Spencer Brown out of Northern Iowa, he lands with Buffalo as they get a little bit better up front. And then, of course, we all love, especially aroused producer Sam, the Ronnie Perkins pick out of Oklahoma. He lands with the Patriots.
Yeah, he was one of Tom Downey's top-rated edge rushers, and the Patriots get him at 96, his 4th-ranked edge rusher. I also really liked Robert Hainsey to the Bucs.
Shout out to the Patriots for kind of just having guys fall into their laps.
For real.
I mean, pretty impressive stuff. How that works out. Trey McKitty, he goes to the Chargers. I know you love the Quinn Meinerz pick as well to Denver.
Yeah, love Quinn Meinerz. I think that's excellent value for a guy who, honestly, would have chosen ahead of Landon Dickerson at the top half of the 2nd round. Quinn Meinerz is going to be a long-term starter at the center spot for Denver, and he can also play guard, too.
By the way, have you heard of Nashawn Wright? If you haven't, it's okay.
No. Honestly,
I'll be honest.
He was Tom Downey's 288th ranked prospect.
I haven't watched a play of his. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm sorry.
That's what it is.
I didn't watch him. He was an undrafted player in our database, and he went round 3 to the Cowboys. Pretty remarkable stuff there. Ifeatu Melifonwu, he goes to Detroit. I like what they've done. Former Michigan corner Ambry Thomas, he lands in San Francisco as well. And then we're almost to the end here. You got Brandon Stevens going to Buffalo, which a little bit of an upside type of pick there. Or Baltimore, excuse me. He lands with the Ravens. And then Baron Browning rounds out day 2, and the Jags will kick things off tomorrow, Chase, and we are going to have some fun tomorrow. I'm fired up. I'm going to ride this momentum train into tomorrow. Tom he's actually filming NFL draft grades in one of our other studios, so subscribe because that's going to be up shortly sometime in the next half hour or so, and you can check that out as well, and we'll be back for day 3. Real quick, if you super chat, we'll get those on screen, and then I think we're going to call it a night. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Do we know yet?
Little after 11 o'clock right now. We can continue to keep
it going. If we get super chats, we can take questions.
I mean, I'm a tank, too.
You want to take some
shotgun,
questions? We'll make it. We can do hashtag NFL, whatever y'all want to do.
$50 super chat, another shotgun.
Another great show from everyone at Chat Sports. See you tomorrow. P.S. One of my very bested Tom as well. Chase, let's have you read the supers from now on. You can see them better than I can. I got a tough angle in here, but appreciate the super, Mark. We greatly appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
Where do we want to go here? No, okay. We'll keep giving. We'll
make
it
the
work.
Flow here. There's no big deal.
We'll go with the flow. Still got 1,800 live. Appreciate everybody who has joined us here on day 2. I believe we've been live since 5 o'clock. So we're going on 6 hours of live coverage because hey, that's what we do.
That's what we do here at Chat Sports.
Shout out your favorite team. We'll talk about one. The first one we see, we'll talk about it. So shout out your favorite team. We're going to close our eyes here, and then we're going to point at the live chat, and we're going to pick a team here. 15 seconds. Count us down. Sam, Chase, someone?
Yeah, I'm just going to let you guys stand here with your hands over your eyes.
We're going to look stupid here. All right, I'm opening them, and I'm picking a team.
Go.
I see the Seahawks. That's who I see. I see Seattle.
Raiders.
Okay, we'll talk about Seattle, then Las Vegas. We'll go in that route. So let's pull up the team notes for the Seahawks here, the picks, and then we'll take a look at what they could do tomorrow as well. Seattle's only made one pick, Dwayne Eskridge out of Western Michigan. Maybe a bit of a reach, but I think a fun player in this offense. He can be that number 3 type of receiver after DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, Chase, and I think maybe this truly does signal the end of the Josh Gordon experiment in Seattle.
Oh, man. It's such a bummer that Josh Gordon never worked out, and you can say that the NFL rules were a little bit too restrictive, whatever. Dwayne Eskridge, though, really good player out of Western Michigan. And you might point to the age, him being 24, as somewhat of a concern, and yeah, maybe you can make that argument. But, Russell Wilson, you have to capitalize on his prime right now, right? And as he gets older, you have to capitalize on him being an elite quarterback right now. So you're looking at Dwayne Eskridge at 24 years old to make an impact in the next 3, 4, 5 years. That's why you make this pick. And if it fell on the Seahawks board for him being the best player available, then the pick makes sense to me.
All right, we'll talk about the Raiders. Then Tim Clark said, how would you rank the Vikings draft so far? We'll go to Minnesota after we go to the Raiders. Shout out to Tim on that one. You recap the draft here, Chase.
Yeah.
Just flip Moehrig and Leatherwood. That's what I've decided. Pretend Moehrig went 17, Leatherwood went 44. All is good there. 43. Malcolm Koonce out of Buffalo, and then Divine Deablo, another safety out of Virginia Tech. Bit up and down, but I think some intriguing talent here for the Raiders.
This is what I told Mitch when the 49ers traded with the Raiders and the Raiders moved up to take Trevon Moehrig. I said, look, Alex Leatherwood might have been a reach, right? But if Alex Leatherwood and Trevon Moehrig end up being immediate starters, immediate contributors,
you're fine.
And they are starting for this team for the next 5-10 years, then we're not going to focus or worry about Alex Leatherwood being a reach in round 1. He's going to start from day 1 most likely, right? As long as he's not a complete bust. So if that's the case where he's able to start right away and Trevon Moehrig starts right away, I actually think that the Raiders can reverse those fortunes from last night when Raider Nation was like, what the hell's going on? Because we want a jock.
We're not going to focus on the reach of Leatherwood. What we are going to focus on is this Trevon Moehrig heater graphic from producer Sam, one of my favorite ones.
Let's
an
go.
Absolute burner from Sam on this one. I love Moehrig. Watched almost every game he played in college at TCU. I think the Raiders really got a good player here in the second round. Tim Clark, we shouted you out a second ago. How would you rank the Vikings draft so far? Let's pull up their draft picks, Sam, and then we can kind of look ahead for them as well. Yeah, I got a sip. I'm ready to rock. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Tim. We make promises and we deliver.
Exactly. I think for the most part it's been good, Chase. To trade down and still get Darrisaw, I love that. I think it's great value. We'll come back to Kellen Mond. Chaz Surratt, a good athlete. I think he's got some real upside there. And then Wyatt Davis, one of my favorite guards in this class. And then you had Patrick Jones later in round 3 as well. What sticks out? What really pops off the screen for you for Minnesota?
Well, in terms of smarts and intelligence, it's moving back and getting Christian Darrisaw, who I thought was going to go in the middle of the first round. Kellen Mond, who maybe Christian Darrisaw is going to protect in the future, is also an interesting pick as well. I think what it came down to for the Vikings when Kellen Mond was still on the board, they probably had him rated pretty highly, like a second or third, maybe a fourth-round guy. And they're like, okay. I mean, let's be honest. Kirk Cousins is getting a little older, hasn't had playoff success, has struggled on primetime, and he has his flaws. There's no doubt about it. So let's take a chance on Kellen Mond at pick number 66 in round 3 to see if he can be a guy. If he doesn't work out, that's fine. We didn't exhaust a premium asset on him, but if he does end up being a dude and you get value back like the Dallas Cowboys have gotten back with Dak Prescott, then it's all worth it.
I'll tell you what, and I said this earlier, and if you missed this when it's probably been about an hour or so, Kellen Mond to Minnesota is so Jalen Hurts to Philadelphia for me. I can see the quarterback drama
I see parallels,
already. I can see Cousins has a couple of stinkers, especially one in prime time, which he's been prone to having in the past, and the fan base is begging for Kellen Mond. Just know you've created this situation now. Now, it's not quite as severe because Wentz is still a younger guy in Philadelphia. They had literally just paid him and gave him a long-term deal, whereas Minnesota gave Cousins a 2-year extension.
Right.
If this happens, it's not as bad for Minnesota, but just get ready. If Mond balls out in the preseason and Cousins struggles early on in the year, there's going to be some Mond as QB1 buzz from this fan base, and I am here for all the drama within the Minnesota Vikings. But you're right. At the end of the day, 66 overall, it's not a huge deal if it doesn't pan out. It's a calculated pick by the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, and it's very intriguing because what if he is in training camp, right, and starts to just ball out? There's going to be a lot of rumblings, a lot of conversations. Okay, should we go with Kellen Mond? I mean, Dak Prescott came out of nowhere. Russell Wilson came out of nowhere. This is what the Vikings had in mind. Let's take a swing. Let's see what he can be. And if we hit on him, pick number 66, and we get a quarterback on a rookie contract, love that.
Yeah, and clearly Minnesota's trying to retool that defense as well. Hey, Chase is new here at Chat Sports, but he's like a seasoned vet at this point. He's been here a couple of months, and he's crushing it.
Seasoned vet.
Seasoned vet. We've hired 4 people since you, so you are a seasoned vet at this point. go give him a follow at Chase_senior. You can follow me on Twitter as well. I'm at HGramNFL. We'll try to get those links in the live chat, but if we can't, just search our handles on Twitter and send us your DMs. I've got a bunch to catch up on, I know, so I promise I'll get to those between now and Sunday. I can't promise when, but I will get back to you. Ask me NFL questions. Ask me about certain teams, trade ideas, draft prospects. Same with Chase. We've been studying this stuff. We are ready to go. So if you want to follow us, we'll get you some shout-outs as well. I may have a couple to catch up on from earlier.
I have a bunch.
So how about you go first, Chase, and then I will catch up.
Yeah, let me just pull it up here. So recent follows from Emmett Day, Raiders Nation Mark Navarro, Jenny, Jeremy Kruger, Bloodstained Lies, Christopher Bryson, Derek Hansey, Ross Felix, Woo! Jr., Adam Pearson, Randy Carter, Jamie Connell, Martha Rude, Santiago Barrera, Michael Olson, Eric Q, Josh, The Raider, R-A-T-E-R, so he likes to rate things, Timothy Connors, Michael Smith, Libertarian Bootstrap, that's an interesting name, Dalton Party, Michael McDermott, John Schroeder, MSM, which stands for Must See Message, but is at Rants by Randy. He's fired up. You know who's fired up? Harrison Graham, ready to shout out some Twitter followers. Let's see.
Yeah, I got some as well. If I shouted you guys earlier, hey, 2 for the price of 1. Eddie, Josh Manuel, Deja Roche, B-Ducks, Cole, Martinkus, Michael, Jam Masta, Jamaris, Jeremy, Skinny Pete, Breaking Bad fan, maybe? Lane
show.
D. Ashmore, great character as well, very underrated. Legacy, Larry Mullins, Bilbo, and then Joseph Grover, and let me refresh here. Nope, no more new ones. So there you go. We appreciate you guys' support both on the channel, on our Twitter platforms. Hey, as we grow, the channel grows. You guys get more involvement as well. It's a win-win for everybody involved. We'll answer a few questions. Yeah, especially if you guys are super chatting.
Might as well, right?
Hashtag NFL, super chat. We got a couple of beers ready to rock here, so get your questions in. Producer Sam
$50
will
super chat.
bring
I'll
them up
shotgun
on
another
the
beer.
screen. Yeah, hey, you heard it there. The Shotgun King will shotgun another beer if you send in a $50 super chat. So feel free to go ahead and do that. Chase, I'll let you guide this since you've got the better look at the screen as the questions come in. What's
Malik said, "Why aren't you effed up yet?" I think we can just
We're
hold
tanks.
it well.
We're tanks.
I think we can hold it
Come
well.
on, we're just built like tanks. All right, Chase, take it away.
Yeah, let's get to this question from Hector Hernandez. Which cornerback do you think the Eagles should take? Because they need to take one.
Do we have best corners available?
Yeah,
Sam?
if we can go to best corners available or best players
we'll go to
available,
Downey's
we
big.
can pop up that list.
Yeah, we'll work that in when we get deep into day 3. It's
Yeah.
it's hard to come up with it off the top of our head. Try to remember who all has been drafted. Zach McPherson's a guy I mocked in a couple of mock drafts. He's kind of a nickel hybrid, good athlete. 4 interceptions last year for Texas Tech. He could be an intriguing prospect. Thomas Graham Jr. as well, out of Oregon. Had 4 picks in 2019, opted out last year. So I think that's hurt his stock. I think those are a couple of, day 3 upside playmaker types that could make some sense.
So if I was the Eagles at the top half of the second round, I like Landon Dickerson as a prospect, and, I've been pumping him up. The injury issues are certainly there, and I'm very concerned about it. I would have gone Trevon Moehrig or Asante Samuel Jr., but for whatever reason, over the last 4 or 5 years, the Eagles have not addressed defense on the first day or 2 in the NFL draft. I would have gone defense with one of those picks. Landon Dickerson, yeah, maybe he's your future center instead of Jason Kelsey. I would have gone with Asante Samuel Jr. or Trevon Moehrig. I would have gone Trevon Moehrig as my number 1 there instead of Landon Dickerson at 37, but they ended up addressing defense with Milton Williams, who has a lot of upside and potential, defensive lineman out of Louisiana
Yeah, he's
Tech.
getting some real buzz.
Put up some big numbers against some lesser competition. But to answer your question there's some decent corners left on the board, but I think in this cornerback top-heavy draft,
a lot of them went
exactly.
toward the end.
It was
saw
a cornerback
some teams
top-heavy
reach at
draft.
corner at the end of round 3 because they're like, we got to get one now or
Yeah.
we're not going to get one.
Yeah.
So.
Everyday Jam. What team does Cox and
Jabril
what
Cox.
caused him to drop?
I don't know. The LSU linebacker who was getting some legit round 2 buzz, he's still out there.
Jabril Cox, right? Yeah,
Jabril
that's what he
Cox,
means
yeah,
there?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
cool.
LSU linebacker. here's the thing. Someone has to drop, right? We do this all the time. How did this guy fall? How did this? Well, someone has to, right? Like, because we do this thing where, we got 120 players with round 3 grades or better. Well, there's only 105 picks or whatever it is. So someone has to tank a little bit. And then when you add in the guys that, like the Cowboys are drafting undraftable players in the 3rd round, well, guys slide. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a medical issue. He's a versatile linebacker who can be a 3-down guy, in my opinion, in the NFL. I think he's one of these top sleeper steal options here on day 3.
Yeah, I think Jabril Cox has the potential to be one of those guys where you look back on it after the 2021 season, and you're like, how did Jabril Cox not go earlier? I mean, this dude is a stud. He's a baller, sideline to sideline type of guy with a lot of potential. I think whichever team drafts him, I think it's going to be in the 4th round. They're going to be very happy with that selection.
What's up with Mafia? Is Mayfield a good replacement for Caleb McGarry, Atlanta Falcons? Mayfield's an upside pick here because I think he only started 15 games or something like that at Michigan. Sure. It was less than 20 starts. I know that for sure. But he's been getting round 1 buzz since he stepped foot on campus in Ann Arbor and was kind of up and down, played right tackle at Michigan. A lot of deep NFL draft scouts will tell you this can be a 10-year Pro Bowl type of guy at left tackle.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen that, but I think where the Falcons got him, later or early in round 3, I think the value's good here.
Yeah, so during his tenure at Michigan, 18 games, 15 starts, all at right tackle. 2019 honorable mention, all Big Ten. 2020 missed 4 games due to injury, so he actually
initially
only
opted
played 2
out,
games.
opted back in.
Exactly.
And then, it's kind of a wonky year for the Wolverines.
I think the thought process from the Falcons is you look at a guy who's 6'5", 326 pounds, who's a junior, so he's younger, and you see him being fleet of foot, and you're like, okay, let's make him a developmental project and see if he can be our future right tackle.
So Jalen Mayfield with the Falcons, we'll see how that ends up playing out. As well from Mafia. Let's read this one here, Chase.
Brother BKL Contreras. Got you follow Chase on Twitter, and you did great job including with you two fellas. What do you think of the Giants pick and who's available just now until tomorrow? Appreciate the follow. If I didn't shout you out, I'm sorry. There were a lot of follows coming in, so good looks on that. As for the Giants pick.
Which pick?
Which pick are you talking
pull
about?
Pull up the picks. They took Kadarius Toney on day 1.
I thought Kadarius Toney was
like a little bit of a reach. They traded down multiple
times
again.
Yes.
Here on day 2.
Which was funny. So, brother BKL Contreras, if you didn't know, Dave Gettleman, the GM for this team, leading up to this draft, had never traded back.
And he's done it 3 times now.
In any NFL draft in his general managing career.
Round.
And he traded back multiple
5th
times.
round, never done it. Now he's
never
done it 3 times.
So if you're talking about Kadarius Toney, Azeez Ojulari, or Aaron Robinson, so Kadarius Toney was a little bit of a reach. I think in terms of fit, he fits in really well with what the Giants want to do offensively and the weapons that are there.
He complements Galladay well, who's more of that possession physical type of receiver.
Yeah.
Toney can be that game breaker for them, either in the slot or as that number 2 outside. Shepard plays some slot too, Sterling Shepard, so we'll see how that works. I think it's another game breaker
I like
type of player.
Azeez Ojulari
Great
at 50.
pick.
I really like his bend coming around the edge. So I'd give the Giants like a B- so far.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, because the Eagles read the board right.
Yep.
And they knew that the Giants were going to take Devontae Smith if he fell to them. So they jumped the Cowboys, got in front of him, and what did Dave Gettleman do? Traded back and still reached a little bit for Kadarius Toney. That's why I knocked their grade a little bit.
Got a first-round pick next year, though, so that's something.
Yeah. What do you think about the Carolina Panthers draft so far? Well, so, all right, I went to Temple University. I'm from the Philadelphia area. I actually kind of know like Matt Rule well. We would interview him multiple times on radio and television while I was there. I have always been invested in Matt Rule.
Yep.
He turned around the Temple program that was about to get taken out of Division I. He took over Baylor in what was one of the most difficult jobs that anybody could inherit. And he goes to the Carolina Panthers, led by an owner in David Tepper, who's a Wall Street guy. So he wants to spend money. He wants to be aggressive. And is going to provide Matt Rule with resources to succeed.
I mean, they gave him, like, full control, basically.
Exactly, and a large contract, long-term contract worth a lot of money, because Matt Rule is just that dude. And I really like what they've done in terms of the draft so far. So J.C. Horn is a guy at number 8 who he just rose up draft boards really, really quickly. And is he better than Patrick Surtain? Maybe.
Upside, I think, is higher.
Really like the upside with him. And, like, let's be honest. Like, people say, oh, the negatives, he's a puller, he's a grabber. He was really good against SEC competition, and the completion percentage when he was targeted, 33.3%. He's going up against guys like Jalen Waddle. He's breaking up passes against guys like Devontae Smith. So I really like the J.C. Horn pick, and then I like after this how they address defense in a position of need, how they've supported Sam Darnold after making this trade, giving him some support.
By the way, heater alert on this
Exactly.
graphic. Absolute heat with Terrace Marshall. I love the Terrace Marshall pick.
So do I.
Carolina. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and
People
now Terrace
sleep on
Marshall.
Terrace Marshall.
That's a great pick. You lost Curtis Samuel in free agency, so now you got
Christian
another guy
McCaffrey,
you
too.
can plug in. Look, if Darnold
and the trade for Darnold Harrison, they didn't give up really anything.
No.
And he's 23 years old.
Yep.
And he didn't get any support with the New York Jets. Now he has emotional, physical roster support.
We'll find
and great
out.
coaches with Matt Rule and Joe Brady.
We'll find out this year if Darnold could be a franchise guy because he's got weapons.
Yes.
He's got 2 legitimate receivers. I think Marshall's a legit guy as well in the 3rd round. And McCaffrey is a quarterback's best friend because you can just dump it down to him and he's going to go make something happen.
No doubt.
So I think Carolina's in a great spot. I think they have the right leadership led by Matt Rule, and I think they're a team on the rise, no doubt about it.
$10 super chat coming in from Dylan James Holland Fink. Is that your entire name? Wow, that's awesome. Hey, that means that you're unique.
Hey, if you're a 4-name guy, you're next level.
You're an OG, original gangsta. What are your guys' opinion on the Ravens' picks in this draft and their team overall? Also, do you think Lamar is elite, and what picks could they still make? You're the man, Dylan James Holland Fink, for the $10 super chat. Rashad Bateman going to the Ravens at pick number 27. The Ravens have a big decision to make. Are they going to pay Lamar Jackson? Let's find out.
They already picked up his 5th-year option.
Exactly. They picked up his 5th-year option. Are they going to give him a long-term deal? They got him a potential number 1 in Rashad Bateman and also brought in Sammy Watkins. So I do like the pick of Rashad Bateman. And the question is, do you think Lamar Jackson is elite? In what way do you phrase and categorize elite? Is he one of one in terms of being unique? So I'll throw this comparison out there, and then I'll throw it to you, Harrison. Lamar Jackson will wow you in terms of his speed, athleticism, and burst like Michael Vick. But Lamar Jackson is, in my opinion, a better passer and has more potential than Michael Vick. So in that way, he's elite. The thing with Lamar Jackson is, we see all these quarterbacks right now who will just cut you up, carve you up, and dice you up in the passing game. Lamar Jackson is never going to do that. What he does do, though, provides a really unique element to that offense that I'm not sure at some point is going to be stopped long term. We'll see.
Yeah, and listen, I definitely think you should give him a big contract here. The question will be, because I fully anticipate Baltimore paying Lamar, and I love the Bateman pick. I've been very high on him since 2019 when he was a baller for Minnesota in 2019. They also had a receiver that year that got drafted by the Bucs this year and played pretty well. I'm forgetting the guy's name. Tyler Johnson, who was they were a dynamic duo in 2019 for Minnesota. So you get Bateman here. You add Owe as well, which is a boomer bust type of pick, but a calculated selection. But the Lamar conversation is interesting to me. I pay him, and I don't think twice. The question will be at the end of that contract, what do you do? Because does he have the same juice that he has right now? Yeah. Has he developed as a guy who can win from the pocket consistently? Because right now he's still inconsistent in that area. I think right now it's mostly a no-brainer. I pay Lamar, and I worry about that later because he's still, peak athlete Lamar, and you see if he can develop. I think getting a guy like Bateman really helps him out.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Let's get to another question from CV. Jets go Carter at 107, and how do you feel about them grabbing Elijah Moore? What do you think?
Hey, we start with Carter here. We'll get to
Michael
Moore.
Carter.
I'll be brief on Moore. I love the pick. They're doing what they didn't do with what they did with Sam Darnold. They're doing the opposite with Wilson. They're getting him immediate help, so I like that. Michael Carter is he is the best player available at the running back position on our big board here from Tom Downey, our draft expert. He's a beast, dude. I know
really
Javonte Williams is getting all the buzz.
Grab the headlines.
Michael Carter's awesome. He was really good at North Carolina. You want to continue to build around Wilson? I'm down. Go get Michael Carter. This defense, I don't think the defense is as bad as we think. I think that team couldn't stay on the field offensively, and the defense ran out of gas in a lot of games. Yeah. I honestly do. A year and a half ago, this was a middle-of-the-pack defense. Like, the offense was just so bad last year that the numbers went down. I think you continue to build around Wilson. I think Carter would be a fun player in that offense.
No, I agree with you there. Yeah, and who else did he ask about?
Elijah Moore. They already drafted Elijah Moore.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, Elijah Moore broke A.J. Brown's record for the most receptions in a single season this past year, and that's really impressive because we've seen the player that A.J. Brown has developed into. Now, I'm not making, like, player comps here.
They're different stylistically.
Different styles because Elijah Moore, much smaller, not as physical, but Elijah Moore is a really good player. Now, he plays bigger than his size. He's somewhat stocky for his size, and, like, the thought process here is, like, okay, we get Zach Wilson at number 2. Elijah Vera Tucker at guard, one of my favorite picks in the first round because I think he's the most ready-to-play offensive line prospect in this year's class. And then, so you protect Zach Wilson, and then you get him a weapon in Elijah Moore. Yep. So to answer your question, like, I really like what the Jets are doing, and I do like Elijah Moore.
By the way, comp for Moore, I think he's a more polished McCole Hardman. He's got similar explosiveness, but I think he's a better tactician as a receiver. I'm not going to say
Hardman's like very streaky.
Hardman is like, you get him the ball in space, he can go, but he's not the best route runner. I think Moore is a much better route runner, and I think he could be that type of a game breaker in this Jets offense. And by the way, when Zach Wilson, gets out of the pocket and is keeping plays alive, more streaking downfield, that's the type of guy you want in your offense.
No doubt about that. This question coming in from Mark Mullo. Thoughts on the Packers draft pick so far? I'm bummed out. I'm bummed out because I'm a big supporter of Aaron Rodgers, and the fact that the Packers haven't supported him in recent drafts with offensive talent is a huge bummer for me. And that's the reason why Aaron Rodgers is so disgruntled, Harrison, because the Packers haven't provided him with support offensively. They continue to address positions opposite of what he wants and what he needs, which would help them in the immediacy of the moment.
know the draft has been the focus, and it will continue to be so, especially from us here at Chat Sports. This Rodgers thing is going to be interesting, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is the story in the NFL 48 hours from now. Like, the draft has absorbed it, and it caught headlines for a few hours on Thursday, rightfully so, and obviously the draft has been the focus since. Come Monday morning, I guarantee you, Get Up's talking about it. First things first, all these national shows, we're going to be talking about it.
They already have it in the rundown.
The Aaron Rodgers thing is going to be fascinating. I'm not convinced he plays another down in Green Bay. Like, I know it's a cheesy phrase, but where there's smoke, there's fire. This feels like a lot of smoke. Like, I really think there could be some problems here with that relationship, which is disappointing because I think him and Matt LaFleur are a good stylistic fit. It's like kicking that field goal just changed everything in the NFC title game. I don't know why.
But it's years of build-up, too.
Yeah.
It's years of build-up as well.
I mean, but him and McCarthy, that relationship fizzled. You get LaFleur, back-to-back 13-win seasons. You're like, man, Rodgers is revitalized.
Back-to-back NFC Championship
he's a different player.
Too.
Like, you should have gone to the Super Bowl last year, and this is just going to be one of those where if he doesn't play there again, we're going to look back and be like, how far could him and LaFleur have gone toward the end of his career? I hope it's figured out because I want to see Aaron make a couple more runs there, especially with the franchise like Green Bay. But, man, this storyline is going to be very, very fascinating. If you guys enjoyed the show, we've been live for 6.5 hours. You've seen me. You've seen Chase. You've seen Tom, who's currently in shambles. You've seen Mitchell Renz. You've seen our guys behind the scenes. They've been crushing it. Round of applause to the guys in the production room out there. We appreciate Perry, Marshall, Jack, Brett, James, everybody else helping behind the scenes. Producer Sam, he's been crushing it. Like this video if you've enjoyed what you've seen tonight. And, hey, join us tomorrow. Chase and I are ready to rock. Tom and Mitchell Renz will probably lead off our coverage. You'll see us at some point. We're slipping in and out here because we're doing a bunch of videos on a ton of different channels. He's Chase for Producer Sam. I'm Harrison Graham. We're going to throw up the deuces. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 3 of